Hello. I'm gonna have to fix my audio because it's not working.
Yeah, I can hear you, Isaac.
Okay, got you. I,
I,
I can't hear you, Yonci.
I can't hear you, Yonci. I
You're
can hear.
muted, Yonci.
All right, I have my oh bummer. So I just did that whole thing with no audio. That's terrible. So
Mm,
I'm trying, and I've got people in the comments, and they're probably saying, I can't hear. Yep, they're saying they can't hear. Of course, I don't look at it till 2 minutes in. So I'm hoping that I don't have to have both cameras on. You know what? Let me try one thing real quick and then come back in. This might be helpful. Let me try this real quick, okay? Just hang tight, y'all. This is live show. You see what happens. All right, let's see here.
so how's it going?
Man, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good.
I thought there was a way to fix it, but I guess
Yonci, you have look like that you're using two cameras, correct?
Mm.
yes, and it only allows one camera to have audio. And so I
Yes,
want to switch the camera.
yes. And the camera you want to have audio with, um, it has to be the main camera.
Right. And I don't know that there's a way I can not go out and come back in because it only asks you at the very beginning. And
Okay, so the camera that you're looking head on with,
that's the backup camera.
okay, that's the one that you set as your main camera because, well, you need to set that one as your main camera because you want the head on view.
Yes. But I don't think that I can do that without having to go out and come back in. Not Jacob. He said, this is my favorite part of the show, Yonci figuring out the tech. Y'all come on over so you can watch me struggle on YouTube. Come on over, guys. We're getting it all figured out. This, y'all, I'm learning this the hard way. So y'all just gonna get two angles of me every now and then. I might switch it up and look at you.
Okay, I like the angle.
We'll just do what we can do. You know what? What's better than two Yoncis? How about a cam? Let's throw a cam in there. Let's throw Lynette in there. Oh my God. Okay,
My
guys.
buddies are in the house today.
Hey. Oh, I'm digging the hair. I don't know what you did differently, but your hair looks different and I'm feeling it. It's kind of fly.
Thanks, Mama.
Very nice.
How you fellas doing? Hey, Cam. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Isaac.
Hey, Chris,
Amanda,
what's
you
going
ain't
on?
seen that your skin is glowing, girl. I love it.
Oh, thank you. A lot of water.
It's that chocolate, boo boo. That chocolate.
I was talking to Amanda and I'm like, why isn't she answering me? And then I finally found out she couldn't even hear me. I don't know if you guys can hear backstage, but I didn't know that I had to use one camera or the other. So I'm stuck with two because the one I want doesn't have audio. So we just kind of roll with it and we'll just have this be my two personalities. And then every now and then I say, I'm going to do like this.
That's fine.
It's kind of fly. I think with the editing, I could imagine you doing some cool stuff like that. Like you turn to the camera and you're like,
Yeah,
hey guys, how do you feel about this? Okay.
I love it. Or I have to show something. So I did this with excuse me, my cooking show. I had two cameras, and when I wanted to do a close-up shot or hover over the dish, I was able to do that, and I felt really fly. You guys, my dream is to have a team that will do this for me because I am on the struggle bus doing it myself. But I'm doing my best.
We're gonna find some high schoolers who have some knowledge about this, and
I got sent.
Need some
Yeah,
credit.
and Yonci, I sent you a DM saying that I use StreamYard all the time. And
I need a team though.
But I told you that sitting in the background is easy, but you got to make time to get with me.
You said what? Are you saying you're volunteering to do tech?
Look. Have you checked? I've told you that in your DMs like 10 times.
We'll have these conversations off the air.
Okay.
But I definitely need a team. All right, we're gonna get started. All right, let's see. I gotta catch up, y'all. So on our side, we can see private chat and we can see the comments. So y'all, I promise I don't have ADD. I just be trying not to miss anything. Okay. All right, so let's get started. First, let me just actually ask y'all. Thank you, by the way, for coming back. You guys are always great on the show, and I appreciate you coming. How has your week been? Anyone have anything interesting? Any tea?
Excellent week.
Unless you
Great
my
week.
father just popping up with his dog in my house. But other than that,
Who's popping up?
my dad.
Oh,
And she said with his dog.
With
right.
his dog, a lab. So there's that.
Oh wow.
Mind you, I gave him the dog, but that's not the point.
You didn't want her to bring it back. Oh, that's hilarious. Y'all, we have some interesting stuff to go over tonight. We are going to dive right on in. I'm going to do my best to keep up with these little graphics. Okay.
Wait, I heard you have a
notes.
soundboard. You have a soundboard now?
You said what?
Do you have a soundboard now? I heard. I've been absent, so.
No.
I thought you have one. Okay.
I'm just not being ghetto anymore by, actually paying for Patreon. I mean, paying for Patreon, StreamYard.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's $50. So when I be like tinkling my little can at the end of the show, now y'all know why. I gotta.
No, a StreamYard for the professional version is $489 a year. Trust me, I know.
It's wild, y'all. So
yes.
we
gonna get you right, Yonci. We're gonna get you right.
Hey, hey, Yonci, you got to email me your appeal box, and I'll send you something that you can use so that when you use that front camera, it won't be an issue.
I appreciate that. All right. Okay. All right, let me go back to my notes and make sure I don't forget anything. All right, we're going to dive right into question number one. Question number one, this was presented. And by the way, I always jump right in like people just know what's happening, but let me give a little context. So we have our main Instagram page, Chasing Yonci. I've had it for 9 years. We had a little incident, shall we say, with the ladies, which resulted in me creating the Yonsternation page, which is exclusive for men. Women are not allowed on the page. But the guys get to answer questions without having to worry about any backlash, and they get full anonymity because when I share the answers to my tribe on Patreon, shout out to my Patreon people, their names are redacted. So on the show, you guys get a little sneak peek, and you get to see some of the stuff that the patrons get to hear about during the week. So Monday through Friday, I post up something from Patreon, and then we go ahead and we discuss it there. Okay. All right, guys, let's see. So number one, I gave them the choice. I said you could only choose one. Do you want to be financially comfortable and have an amazing marriage, or be stupid wealthy, but you die alone? Okay, this is a hypothetical. So I want to hear from the two guys here. And then, of course, we're going to get the stats and see how the guys answered. Those of you watching on Instagram, be sure to come over to YouTube. You can see the link or the link, I guess, down there. Just type in Chasing Yonci and I will pop up. Let me know who came from Instagram in the chat. And also, guys, let me know where you guys are watching from, since I asked you to drop your city and state, but my microphone wasn't connected. So that makes sense why nobody shared theirs. All right. So first things first, Willie, you ready to come back on? Give me a thumbs up if you are, sir. All right, cool. All right. So what was I asking? Guys, so what do you pick? Are you picking amazing marriage and you're secure financially, or stupid rich, but you got to die alone?
I chose financially comfortable with an amazing marriage.
Okay.
Because if you understand focusing on one person and you understand the favor that's attached to that, the stupid wealthy will come along with it.
Oh, okay. I'm here for it. All right, Cam, you want to share your thoughts? Which are you choosing, sir?
Same thing. Yeah, financially comfortable, an amazing marriage. Life, like money, is a means to an end, and I think that like dying alone, I didn't exactly know what that meant.
Some people took it literally like when you take your last breath, you're by yourself. But I mean, like, you live your life and you don't have.
But regardless, it would be nice to have, like I said, just a good marriage. I think that's why most of us are here, trying to find some type of companionship.
Yeah.
And be cool. And to be honest, I think some of us on here are kind of putting ourselves in a position that we can, like I said, be cool and comfortable. So that's where I would be. As far as dying alone, yeah, that's kind of funny. I have like this particular image in my head. So
Understand. Willie, sir, good to have you. What are your thoughts? You get to choose financially comfortable with an amazing marriage. or get stupid alone?
I chose the second one. Being rich and dying alone. I mean, just based off the question,
Okay.
we're gonna die alone anyway. So there's that. And then I've been comfortable with an amazing marriage before, and then I've been where I am now, and I will tell you that I have significantly more fun, feel more fulfilled, and I think I do more for the world, as option two. So I don't think that I don't really see much value in having growing old with someone. I have children, so I mean I'm some man. I'm killing the question as it was asked. So yeah, I'll take the money and down alone. 'Cause, I mean I'm pretty sure that I'll have a fantastic life and marriage within my lifespan. I'm just gonna die by myself, and I mean that's the way we go. We come in by ourselves, we go out by ourselves. I don't see a problem with that.
Okay. Y'all was way too excited to try out my little sound effect. Could y'all hear it?
Yes, I heard it.
Yes.
Real giddy.
So I heard it. So you know what though? I've met more wealthy
One more
men.
time. Okay, go ahead.
I've met more wealthy men that are single that have honestly admitted that they get tired of coming home to an empty house. So if you can go out and earn all of the wealth, but you have no one to physically share it with and enjoy it with in the essence I'm talking about it in a committed relationship of a passionate, loving, healthy relationship outside of your children, yeah, I got it. Your children are going to be there. But I've met more wealthy men that have stated that they are tired of coming home alone. So we can look at Vivica Fox as a woman, 60 years old, and we know the level of success that she has. She said,
That's a
because she
woman
was
though.
so
We
focused
talking
on
about
her
men.
career, now she's saying, I need a man.
Yeah,
If I don't, oh, sorry, let you go, Beamer.
that's a woman. So comparing what a woman's imperatives are to get to a man's is counterproductive to any type of conversation about how a man feels, unless that man is also um, feminine. And generally speaking, that's never a great idea. Vivica Fox waited till she was 60. She didn't wait till she was 60 to find a man. She waited till she was 60 to realize she needed one. She had plenty and messed those up. And there's men who have said, "Oh well, I'm tired. I wish I had somebody to share it with," because they haven't had it. And so then there's those who speak from both sides and know what it's like to have someone to share everything with, and then also understand that that's not a mandatory thing for them because they've had it both. And if they had to give up all of their money, they wouldn't give it up to go have a wife. They want the wife and the money. So if saying which one would they forego first, um, having being wealthy or having a wife, I don't think you're finding any of these people that are going to be willing to forego their fortunes just to have somebody to share it with. They can go find that easily.
And I
There,
will also say, sorry.
I was gonna say there was a gentleman who did interviews with people who are at their end of life, and he said that nobody regretted not doing more business deals or having certain achievements. They all regretted not spending more time with the ones they loved, not specifying a wife per se, but just the people in their lives. And so it will be interesting when we reach the end of our lives to see if we spent it the way we wanted. And that's the beauty of this question, is that there's no wrong answer. Okay, Lou, I will allow you to eat dinner. I invited him to come on. He says he's eating dinner. I can't. How rude of him. And I do want you to be able to not lose your thought, Cam, but now that I'm finally caught up, since I was so discombobulated, I want to do a couple of shout outs really quickly. Thank you, Shantae, for being here since you couldn't even hear and you still stuck around. Hi, Candace. Hi, Dawn. I appreciate you coming on. Lindsay, good to see you. Jacob, that was actually really hilarious, your comment earlier. I appreciate that. Realistic One, shout out to you. And thank you, Shantae, for the compliment. I blew it out just for y'all. Okay. Let's see. Lou, I already gave you a shout out. Hello. Hope you can join us. Blondie, good to see you. Is it Amaris? I'm hoping I got one of those. Appreciate that, Somalia. Good to see you, darling. Superhuman Nation, nice to see you. David Berkeley, yay, he came over to YouTube. Y'all don't be, what's the word? Don't be contrary. Come on over to YouTube. Don't stick around on Instagram. One guy's like, I like it on Instagram. They don't love me on Instagram like they do on YouTube, if you know what I mean. Okay, AT Quell, multitask chef, good to see you. And Candace, I think I got everybody. Thank you guys. For real, for real, for real. I really do appreciate you. If it weren't for you, I would literally be some weirdo talking to her camera. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Cam, after all that, do you remember what you were going to chime in? I was talking about the interviews. Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting because I did caregiving at one point, and just to kind of like see when you said that question, like my particular thought process was like having no kind of support, because what kind of sucks sometimes is that you're closer to the end of life, but had you had like, you know, a plethora of like friends, family, all these other kind of things, like I could have definitely seen like if things don't work out in a certain period of time, me just having a life like that where it's like I just have a great amount of friends and all those other kind of things. I think you could still kind of have stupid wealth, like I would just do dumb stuff like Mr. Beast, but probably a little bit more crazy, you know, like, you know, I could see that also being like a reality for me, like I said. But of course, if it was an amazing marriage, you know, that's definitely the end. So I was just thinking about that, where it's like, you know, you get to the end of life and sometimes they're gone and then you're just by yourself.
So, you. I don't know what this is going to do, but we're going to find out together.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's not really as climatic as I wanted. Shantae, thank you so much. Y'all, I'm going to work on my sound effects. I didn't get a chance to add really any. These are some built-in ones. No. Okay, thank you, Shantae. I'm going to stick with this sound effect right here. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate that. Anybody else want to jump in and say anything before we move on to the next topic? And by the way, guys, if you are enjoying the show, please hit the like button. It's so that YouTube knows that you're enjoying it. YouTube doesn't know if you're just sitting there like this or if you are super duper into it. Oh my goodness. Y'all gonna make me do a church shout around my studio. Thank you, Blondie. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Y'all, I might be able to pay off my StreamYard rent this month. Okay. I don't want to get evicted. There are 4 of y'all who are still on Instagram. You better come over. Oh, is that my dear old friend? Oh, hi, Kim. You better not be one of the 4 that are sticking around. Come on over to YouTube. I promise the water is warm. Jacob said, but her hair though. Oh, is that thank you. I just can't go outside because the humidity won't let me be great. So I'll just be, you know, awesome in the AC. All right. So let's get on back here. Question number 2. I wish they would number this. Okay. Here was the second. Oh, y'all, I didn't answer what the guy said. And I got my little graphics. I'm so excited. Okay. Here we go. Oh, of course they take away the title from down here. That would be terrible. Okay, nope. It's the other one. Why would they take my titles away? Sheesh. So I had to guess. Okay, here we go. Which would you choose? The guy said, by the way, there are almost always 2 graphics because Instagram is a little wonky and sometimes it doesn't show the post in the caption. So I have to do backup in the story, but it's interesting because you see it's usually pretty consistent. So 88% said they would choose the marriage over the stupid wealth. In the second poll, 90% chose that, which would make 10%. There we go, 10%. I can do math, y'all, okay? So that's pretty cool. That's what the guys chose. Welcome to the show, Meek. Good to have you. I love the background. Very cute. All right, we're going to move on to question number 2, and I'm going to pretend like I know where the button is to take this away. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's get back to it. And y'all, just so many buttons. Where did my people go? Okay, there we go. All right.
It's all right. You'll get it.
Thank you.
You're going to be really good at it.
You're so patient with me. All right, one more, and there we go. Okay. So the second question is, I gave them the choice. do you want to choose, would you prefer an amazing body or an amazing face? And the way the men pontificated over this was really quite funny. So I'll let you guys share. And this one, I will read some of the questions on. So what are we picking, fellas who are in the house? Face or body? What is it, ladies? What do they say? A face of the gods or a body of it? What do the young kids say?
I don't know.
Face beat by the gods or something like that. They say.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was 8 now. It's not 8 anymore.
Okay, do you want her body to eat or do you want her face? Okay,
yeah, I don't know.
You're reaching. Don't dislocate your elbow.
So how I approach this question, because I don't want to get anybody angry, how I approach this question looking like if this woman was like morbidly obese,
okay,
or if she was like tiny skinny, and then of course the health implications that come with that,
right?
I had to go. I was like, man, a lot of girls wear makeup and stuff like that, so probably a decent body.
And I forgot to give this. I'm sorry, because I just paraphrased it because I wanted the caption shorter. So the guys were given an amazing body and an average face. So she's not hideous. You're not screaming if you see her in the middle of the night. Okay. And then B, amazing face. Like she's just, everyone's like, oh my God, average body. Which, speaking of bodies, you guys, I'm very excited. I'm down 6 pounds. I'm just look, I put on that little, I'm in love fluff and it ain't cute. So y'all about to get all of the stuff, all the barren midriffs and everything that's inappropriate for 40-year-olds to wear. Y'all about to get all of that when I reach my goal.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Out of amazing face, amazing body, where does the intellect lie? Because you can have an amazing face, amazing body, and can be dumber than a box of rocks, or you can have no intellect whatsoever. And I am attracted to the mind. So,
okay.
I'm glad that you asked that question.
So we have to realize that men are slightly different. Right, visual.
Yes.
But the other thing is, what I like to deal with in these types of questions are the word caveman comes to mind, but that's not, I'm being funny. But like the not deeper part. Like we have
the atypical.
Okay.
Yes, like the visceral reaction. So
surface level.
All things being the same. So let's say, for example, she's super, super dope. And you get to, the idea would be she's super dope and she can either have an amazing face or an amazing body. Which would you pick your super dope person? Which package would you want to come in? So thank you for that question. Any other guys want to answer that?
I chose the average body.
Okay. You want to expound on that anymore?
Because my personal experience, I'll speak from it. Having an amazing face, it typically constitutes having a very high maintenance woman. So, and then I have to include what's that? Mika? Is that Mika? Meek. I have to include what she said. That was part of my thoughts too, intellectualness, because I am one that's turned on by the intellectual.
But that wasn't a choice.
I know this, but since you brought it up,
don't get mad at him.
But you can't change the question. It's there.
But mine was average. But mine was average body, because, and this is the reason why, because we can work on the body.
Oh, okay. Wait, so I thought you said that the face meant she's high maintenance.
Yes, I said I chose the average body.
Yeah, but if you're choosing average body, that means you're choosing amazing face. So it's amazing face and average body, or amazing body and an average face. So either her body is going to be snatched,
and her face going to look crazy.
No, it's not crazy. She's
okay. Yeah, I think I chose the average body because I didn't need the amazing body. Because the amazing body is because you can build the amazing body.
Okay. But you're just gonna have that fabulous face. Yes. And then if you build that amazing body, now she has an amazing face and an amazing body. But according to you, she's gonna be high maintenance. So good luck with her. Okay.
Oh wow. Listen, I'm a woman, and I don't even care about a man body anymore. Because if the older you get, everybody changes. Everybody get older. Everybody metabolism change for a man. So if you got a pop belly, I'm good with it. I'm like, okay, you got a pop belly.
Why do I like a little fluff on a
Yeah. So I mean,
Can we talk about that?
You say
Can we talk about that?
I'm
sorry, not to cut you off on that. Sorry.
What happened?
Sorry, we did kind of cut her off. What were
What's
you gonna say? Because I do want to get
No,
into that.
I'm trying to. Okay, so I have this journey that I was trying to go on in terms of like, really getting into my health again, into not health, but like the body, like the physique aspect of things. And you just you see women all the time talking about they like this particular body type. And I'm wondering, like, where does that come from? Is it a personal insecurity body thing? Or is it just like you don't like that look of a guy being too like I said, too much? Like, I'm not trying to become like a bodybuilder, but like the physique models you see, like I said, like the Henry Cavill, like Superman or something like that, like building your body up so they look good. So how does that work? Like, y'all actually like that?
So your body,
Cam.
you young Cam, so your body should be tight. There's no reason for you to have pop belly and you under 30 or under 35.
We're just drinking beer all day.
Right. We're talking about the older men in our age bracket. Like, for them, it's a little leeway for them because they're older men. And they probably have that fit type body. But,
so I'm 30. So I'm 35. So at what age do y'all want that Huggy Bear type situation coming on? Like, what?
40.
When is
I
it?
want it at all times. So let me explain. And there was a picture. Thank you, Shantae, for the second badge. Thank you. Let me explain what I mean when I say I want the little fluff. It's like a man's poop.
A little pooch.
Yeah.
What?
Pooch. So what
you said pooch, not poopa, right?
I said pooch. Pooch, fupa is the same. Pooch.
No, it's not.
No.
Fupa stands for fat under the.
Oh, that's fupa.
I always thought that was your little like.
No,
men don't have a fupa.
Men don't have the.
Yeah,
men
we
don't
do. We have a penis.
No. I just thought it was your belly. So
we have a belly.
Oh, okay. No, you're good. You're good. I'm visual.
So this is my thing. For me, it's how it feels. So like me, my daughter, we're very sensory. What I remember being a little kid in my car and my mom would be driving and I just love to caress her arm. I just love the feeling of skin, and anything softer is better. I one time dated a guy who had like he had like a track runner's body, and he was on the lean side. And I just remember thinking, I don't like that feeling. I've always been drawn to like a football player type where give me the big muscles, give me the tree trunk neck, and give me that little muscle right here that you can see from the
so
back.
like linebacker type stuff, or like off season running back. Okay.
So when you look at him in clothes, he still has this physique, because his pectorals are sticking out so far, and there's room for a little fanny pack in there. But when you cuddle up against it, oh my God, it is like, it literally feels like you're with Tigger. I mean, not Tigger, Pooh Bear.
Pooh Bear.
Pooh Bear.
Bear.
Skinny.
Perfect. You done said it perfectly. Yes.
And it's not a chubby guy who has jaws and he's got flabbing arms and he's got man boobs. It's just that midsection. They're saying I totally agree. I love that. She said, I don't need my man to look like he's 9 months pregnant. And that's what I'm saying. He won't look 9 months. We're like 2 months, and at 2 months you could still hide
you
with
could
your
still maintain it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all made it seem like we was talking about somebody who belly stick over their belt.
Thank you.
Well, I don't listen.
No.
Listen,
exactly.
I'll tell y'all. Sometimes I'll go through, because we be on these Instagram streets and these Facebook streets, and you'll see some of these dudes, and I'm like, y'all want that? But y'all be like really, sexually attracted to like this really in shape, fit guy. So it's like, it was like almost kind of how you say like with women, where it's like there are women that we wouldn't want to like sleep with or have sex with, that kind of stuff, versus the woman that we want to marry. How sometimes there's a difference. There's people who you're sexually attracted to, but then the husband tends to have more of this soft body or more realistic or a common frame. So I was just wondering like what that really was about. Is it like it's like you said, the sensory thing, or is it like a comfort thing, or what the case might be?
I think I'm the same in person. Like I'm drawn to a man having a really handsome face, but I'm just always like a big body. If a guy was ripped and like it's a thing with the veins, I've just never been into that. Like it just feels like you're hugging a pole or something. And I don't know. I think maybe I see super thin as I associate with like more younger or less developed, I guess, versus like a guy is like he when it gets your big, like stop.
I see something like more natural. Like I don't need someone who is like pumped up and like
don't go so big that
he doesn't have like any type of fat on his body. Like you can have some meat on your body, you can have a little bit of arm, a little bit of stomach. I'm not saying someone that is like morbid or obese, but there's nothing wrong with a little cuddle buddy. Like women love that.
Little cuddle belly.
Yeah.
And it's the same with
little cuddle. Little
I said little cuddle buddy. I said not morbid obese.
Right. He's not lifting it up and watching there.
There's a lot of space. There's a lot of space. Okay, so Kevin James currently, like not back in King of Queens days. Like, do you guys know who Kevin James is?
Yes. I do know who Kevin James is.
Okay, so now he's lost a lot of weight. So he looks kind of that dad body. Yeah.
So are you asking like
because he was never
Kevin James or new Kevin
James? I'm saying so like little Kevin James almost, or like the smaller version of him now that he's fit and he's kind of in shape, more in shape.
Actually a little still too big for me.
Like
think of like a football player who's retired.
I mean, you gave a good example. I was just trying to see what she was talking about because like I didn't have a picture in my mind of I'm a visual person, so that's why I was trying to like.
I'm saying not like fluffy everywhere, like not fluffy face, not fluffy neck. I mean, Yonci, you said it exactly.
Okay. So Yonci's around Yonci's.
Like a little bit of something to let me know that you have some strength somewhere and that you are not out of breath because you are so overweight. Like if we're good there, then we're good,
Oh my God. And there's this visual in my mind of like this big stocky guy. I like to jokingly say, I don't want you to blow away if a good wind blows, like there's just something about like a corn-fed man where it's just like, you just know you good. So yeah.
Okay, gotcha. No, I've heard that. So I just wanted to get the women's insight, but yeah, I got you.
Okay, let's see. All right. Where are we at? Okay, let's see in the comments. No love for the sleek men. Oh, there are lots of women who love. You just happen to get the panel that likes the corn-fed. So, and I don't want to speak for everybody. I think I don't know, Lynette, did you like a little bit? I think she gave it grace, but I don't think that she says she likes it. I think that's what I took it as. She just gave it grace. Woohoo! LH said, real conversation. Love the conversation. Thank you, guys. Y'all really gonna pay my rent this week. Thank you so much. Although YouTube takes like 70%, but that's okay. That's okay. The spirit is there. I appreciate it.
Can you put your Cash App at the bottom or something?
Oh, I could do that. Look, cut out the middleman. Okay. All right. If you want to show love, Cash App is, I put Cash Yonci. Cash App is Pay Yonci. Oh, by the way, you guys are incredible. Okay, so I did a cooking class on yesterday. It was a lot of fun. We made a sausage pasta skillet, and the ladies, we all had a good time. And the day before, I was like, you know what? Let's just see if anybody wants to contribute. I just popped up on the men's page and I said, hey, does anyone want to sponsor? And do you know there were 3 sponsorships given. I'm telling you guys, The guys are so generous. They're so sweet. Every single Zoom mingle, there's been someone who, sponsors 20 people, 50 people, whatever. And the ladies loved it. You never know somebody's situation, and I always trust people are just milking it. They actually need it. And then one girl came on after and she said, oh, are there any more sponsorships going to happen? I said, I didn't even expect these ones. So no, I don't think so. Right after that, one girl said, I booked a session with a client and I didn't expect it, so I can't use mine. And I said, look at God, won't he do it? So she was able to get it. But I just want to say, my tribe is phenomenal. Like, so much love. And I'm bragging on the guys, but I want to take a second and brag on the girls. So I have my June group, my 8-week coaching program, and my June group just started this week. They came out the gate just on fire with the group chats and everything. And there were a couple of girls in one of the areas in Texas. Well, I have a coaching client, a one-on-one coaching client. And she said, man, I moved to this area. I don't have a lot of friends. I said, say less, in the middle of the section, posted up in my story. And I said, anybody in this area in Texas, I'm trying to connect people in my tribe. A couple girls came out. She almost started crying because the message was so sweet. She's like, we got you. And she said, oh, I'm have friends. You guys, this is truly what I envisioned when the platform turned into what it was, because originally it was just a girl trying to get understanding about guys. But the idea that people can connect all over and, hey, I know Yonci, and there's that familiarity and be able to connect. I love that. I love that. So I just want to take a moment to brag on y'all. Thank you, LH, for the contribution. Really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get on to, I said I was going to read some of these comments. So let's see what they said. Y'all, there are 9 of you on Instagram. Shame, shame, shame. According to the caption, you got to come over to YouTube, please. Show me some love over here on YouTube. Okay, so I said, which do you value more in a romantic partner? One guy said, average face all day, amazing body. Amazing face. I've argued at length with homies about this. Shouting was included, he said. Another guy said, you can make a body. You ain't dodging genetics of the face, though. Oh, but I guess that's just hideous. Okay. Okay. Someone else said, I'm a personal trainer. A woman's body, I think it's a typo, but bothers her self-esteem and sexual performance. You can put on makeup to hide imperfections, but you can't do that for your body. So I will have to go with an amazing body. That's actually an interesting thought, because women are very, affected by their bodies. Hey guys, I know you're enjoying it on Instagram, but would you please switch to YouTube for just tonight? YouTube takes care of content creators. So wink, wink, you know what I mean? All right. Casual hookup, body is important. Serious partner, face. I like the honesty. Okay, another guy says, that's what I was waiting for. I couldn't remember the phrase the kids say, a face card that will never decline.
Yeah.
Body ain't right. That's cool, baby. I'm in the gym 6 days a week. I'll get you right.
Nice.
All right. Should we do 3 more?
No.
Another guy said, average face means she is stunning with or without makeup. Oh, I'm sorry. Amazing face means she's stunning with or without makeup. Although I love makeup, never, ever heard a man say that. But as an enhancement, not a costume, although I love cosplay.
Okay.
Someone else said, remember, average just means normal. And that's pretty true. Okay, last one. I hate this question. I don't like having to choose, but bodies change for better, for worse, and faces tend to stay consistent. So I don't know if that means he's picking face.
He's picking face, okay. But I beg to disagree on that one.
While you give your thoughts, those of you in the comments, please comment. As a man, are you choosing amazing body or amazing face? Remember, the other thing just is average. She's not hideous and she's not obese. It's just average. She's a 7. She's an 8. Okay, what are you picking? And what were you going to say, Cam?
Oh, no, I was saying faces change quite a bit too with stress and stuff like that. But like I said, if we were doing average, because I misinterpreted the question, like I said, I probably would end up going face if we're just going average and average. But I was just looking at it like, she could be hideous versus her having like a good body.
Okay. All right, we are going to get into the next question. But before we do, how many of you lovely people will be on Zoom Mingle this week? Not to put you on the spot, but to excite those in the comments who might want to get to know you a little bit. Anybody on the panel? Okay, Amanda's going to be there. Hey, girl. I'm going to limit myself to 1 cocktail this time. Okay. Anyone else? Just that one for now? Okay, well, y'all, if you want to come meet Amanda, come on through. I'm just kidding. She said, don't put me out there like that.
No.
So our Zoom Mingle is going to be this Friday, you guys. It's this Friday, and we are going to have a good time. It starts at 8 o'clock Central Time. Oh, You see what I did there? Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to cover your faces, but I'm still learning how to use these graphics.
Okay.
Zoomingo.
It's the other way. The other way.
The other way. The other way.
The other way.
It's
The other way.
showing on the screen.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go, right
Yeah,
there.
perfect. Perfect.
Oh, I see it here. How
Yeah,
dare they
perfect.
put it different on my screen? Okay, I'll look over here. There we
No,
go.
that is absolutely perfect right
Perfect. Yes.
Hey, Vanna White.
Just
All
kidding.
right.
So it's 8:00, you guys. It happens on Zoom. Everybody comes on just like this, and they chat. We do some icebreakers to get everybody nice and warm, and then we open up the rooms. And so you can go into different rooms based on whatever the topic is in that room. And last time we did kids or no kids, whatever, and room of faith. We had a couple different fun ones, but I'm gonna surprise you guys tomorrow. And then there are private rooms if you want to get to know somebody without all the peering eyes. And so make sure you guys sign up. If you don't know how to sign up, DM me on Instagram and I will be more than happy to show you how to do that. But back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay, question number 3. What is your biggest fear in life? Anybody care to share? Women and men, you could both answer this question.
I would love to share if I can.
Absolutely.
My biggest fear in life is connecting with a man and he is not self-aware of himself. Biggest fear.
Oh, I'm so sorry not to be anticlimactic to your answer. I just toggled to the question, the comments, and we've got a bunch of people who are coming. Oh, I am here for it. Okay, how can I get on Zoomingo? So what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to go to Patreon. Okay, you go, wait, it's the other side, right? So it's here. You're gonna go to Patreon. Why would they have it reversed for me? It's terrible. You're going to go to patreon.com/Yonci. You are going to join there. You're going to be wowed by everything that's on the app. And as a bonus, you get a link to come to Zoomingo every single month. It's every first Friday of the month. So make sure you guys write that down. You could jump on. It supports me and my platform, but I think it's a pretty amazing time. We got people like Lynette who are super active. We have a fitness thread where you can come on and brag on what you did that day. Y'all gonna hear about every single pound that I lose. Okay. And we just have a lot going on. It's pretty fun. Okay, so let me look at these questions. So Shantae said I may want to come. You should. Let's see. Multitask Chef said I'm maybe in Houston. Okay. And Claudia says, is that tomorrow? It is tomorrow. All right, so let's get back to our questions. Y'all, so many things to click, so little time. There we go. All right, biggest fear in life. So your biggest fear, Meek, is that you'd meet a guy who is not self-aware and it sounds like you're stuck with him. Anybody else want to share theirs?
I said that I didn't have one.
Oh, okay. Anyone else?
Regrets.
My biggest fear in life.
Oh, that's kind of deep. That's
mine has been a failure as a father. That's the only thing that I can't fix and come back from. Anything else in life is tertiary, so I could care less.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I don't think I've ever thought about my fears, even though I posed this question to the guys. I think I would be able to answer it better by saying, what would I regret? And I think I could answer it better that way. I would regret if the people who I love didn't know that I love them. And I would regret not being a good person in the way that the people in my circle needed me to be. I think that's amazing when, somebody comes into someone's life and they make an impact in a big way. Whether it's they're always available when you call, or it doesn't have to be grand or, well known on a worldwide level or anything like that. But for me, I would regret not adding value to the lives of people who are around me. I would want people to feel better after they encountered me than they did before they did. So I know I'm changing it, but it's my show, so I can.
I think a lot of people, at first I thought we were talking about just in dating. And then when it just, answering the premise, if it's just in life in general, I mean, yeah. I think if you ask people, what their biggest fears in dating are, then you'll get more of those self-absorbed, involved
Mm.
types of responses.
Yeah, I would say actually, yeah, you would say biggest fear in dating. It's funny because we've been binge watching on all these like criminal shows.
Crazy shows.
We're like, we keep looking at each other, we're like, and the wife did it, and the husband did it. Just wow, in his sleep, really? So I think probably that would be like the scariest thing would be, you know, if your person tried to harm you, like that I cannot fathom anything more terrifying than not being safe in your own home. Like you got the security system, you got the doors locked, but it's your people. And you got
I'll give you one better.
man.
One better than that would be feeling insecure, but because of the other people that they have around them. So for me, my biggest fear in relational is like I dated or dealt with somebody who had a past that
They couldn't
followed them, or that just followed them.
Terrifying.
Well, it's the same. Either fall in love with a hoe, or maybe she was like she had such a reputation, or for whatever that she has other people around her. That she has other people around her, like, hey, what's up, man? I know it's good. You know, like that would suck to me. I'm like, you got a reputation. Like we gotta move, or I gotta just move from you. You know, that'd be pretty bad.
Falling in love with a hoe will give a man PTSD in ways that war could never.
Facts.
Like that.
Facts.
That is one of the
100%.
most traumatizing things a man can go through is like being in love with someone and then finding out that she's a hoe. Like that's the worst. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Well, except for
I have a picture.
I wouldn't wish that on. That's bad.
Did you guys see that movie? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying I have a picture in my head. I could imagine. This is what I imagine. I imagine walking into a restaurant and then, or like a gala or something like that, and then you're dapping everybody up. People are this, your girls by you, and stuff like that. And then 2 or 3 times, someone like says, "Cindy," or they just, but the Cindy hit different. Yeah, or like
I'm like, oh, you was Cindy. Oh my
god. Yeah.
The crazy part is for a lot of the guys that go to those galas, they do rent women, so they'll go get those escorts just to be dates, and then so you go to them, you'll go to an event with a girl. Dudes will look at you and be like, "Oh, well, damn, you got Cindy? Shit, I know Cindy costs $10K a night. Okay, what are you doing, sir?"
No, but can you imagine if that's your girl though?
Absolutely not. No.
See, that would be my problem. Is that if you brought her, you just was an escort.
Fellas, do y'all know that women feel the same way about us? Is that
no, I don't know that women feel the same way about us.
Hold on. No woman, I guarantee you, no woman sitting on this panel right now wants to walk into a room with the community penis.
It sure don't.
That sounds like something women say.
No, it is not, bro.
It's
but
not saying.
Listen, coming
not
from
the same.
It's not
like,
the
it's not the same when men sleep with a bunch of women. Like,
yes, it is the same.
No.
It is the same.
Because it takes. Do you know how hard it is for a man to become community dick? It's easy for a woman to become community vagina because she has a vagina and anything will sleep with her. A man has to put in a lot of work to be able to sleep with a bunch of women.
I got a story.
Hold on. One better.
Jackson, let women speak for themselves.
Ladies.
I was just about to say, you got a bunch of women right here. We can tell you.
It's women on the panel, bro. Let them talk for themselves.
Can y'all explain to them that y'all don't want to walk into a room with community penis?
I don't want to.
I don't.
He might be cheap. I don't trust it.
I think the distinction is this. I don't think that women are as impacted by the man's number
exactly
as the woman that the men are. However, most women say, well, let me just speak for myself. I don't want to encounter any of those heifers.
Exactly.
I don't want her in my circle. I don't want her in my I don't want her anywhere in my vicinity. They can exist, but in my world, they better be like in Mars and Venus somewhere. I don't want them at the galas we're going to. I don't want to bump into them at dinner. I don't want to run into them when we go bowling. I certainly don't want you in my friend circle. Like now you're dating this guy, or she's just the friend that now you're still friend. That's more our thing. But
there was so Yonci, I 100% agree.
That's kind of fucking sense though.
But the thing is that you said want. They could exist, but want. There was my dad used to be CID, and so that's military police. And he said there was a girl There was a girl that they said you cannot, like, she literally gave everybody in the platoon because she was being ran through. Everybody like not syphilis. It was like like gonorrhea or something like that. So what I'm saying, she literally, she was like, you guys cannot go around her. Like, you guys cannot go on these streets by Fort Lewis because it's just off limits. You guys can't even go there. She literally made like a whole section of town not okay.
Oh wow.
So that's what I'm saying. That it's different. It's built different. So like I said, I don't think it's the same exact thing. Nobody wants that, but I think it's way more. If I found out that Cindy was out here and she was like, even for Applebee's, nah, Cindy's a dub.
Yonci, what you said, man, it should be common sense. What's annoying to me is when men speak for women and then also try to equate men to women sexually as we're equal, because we're not. And nowhere are we equal. So say for example, I have 1,000 bodies. If I take someone somewhere and you never see the women I slept with, or say, matter of fact, you see 10 or 15 of them, as long as I did what I was supposed to do, those women are not going to judge you negatively, because they're like, oh damn, well, she getting that demon D now. Cool, I miss him, I remember him. If a dude is out with his girl and he runs into 10 dudes that's been in her, it doesn't matter what she did. It's what those men did to her.
I heard something that you said, Willie. You said the women aren't going to be judging. And I think we kind of we're touching on one of the differences. For the men, I think it's more of an ego thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want someone else to have touched my person. For women,
that's exactly what it is.
We don't give a bleep what the woman's thinking. We're like, yeah, watch this. This is what I got. Yeah. But we don't want her in our world. So I think that we're both get the ick, but we get ick for different reasons.
No. But I'm gonna say.
But I also hate this. Let me say this. I also hate that when we as fellas say that, well, women just gonna put up with it. That's not true for all women.
No one said that, bro.
But that's the way that it's coming off as no, hold on. But that's the way that it's coming off as if
that's the way you're
women.
That's not what I said.
Because you said that women expect that from us.
That's exactly what you said. No, I didn't. So listen, if you're gonna quote me specifically. We can rewind the video back. I didn't say that women are going to expect anything from us, sir. What I said was that women are not going to look at it the same way, because if a man has slept with 100 women, it took him a long time to build the value up to do that. Any woman can go out. You can pick the most unattractive woman on this panel, put her out in the street. She can get 100 bodies way faster than you can get 3, which is the point. No one. So again, sir, to be clear, if you're going to quote me specifically and accurately, because not once did I say women are going to expect that.
So, what I would like to add really is just that in general, like I said, we're the same, we're humans, but at the same time, it's different materials. And then, so when people say double standards, it's not double standards. That I expect one thing from steel and I expect one thing from wood. We can both make tables out of them, but when I'm building something that's a machinery, I need steel. I need the integrity and the strength of steel, as opposed to with wood. It's great. It's great for framing houses and all that kind of stuff. So I think really, and it's not even ego for me. If it came to a situation like that, it's like, can you imagine all the problems? How many men are in prison behind a woman? Some women are in prison, but we have like 2 million people in the penal system, and a good majority of them, it came out of a situation where women had kind of created, or they've been the denominator of that situation. Of course, make bad decisions, but as far as like, there's physical violence that occurs behind something happening with a man, so that's why I'm like, no, it's not the same. If I saw a girl and she was out and she was talking to all that kind of stuff, and a guy disrespected me behind that would be a problem. That probably wouldn't happen with a woman.
There is a woman in the video, I don't know if you guys have seen this video, where this girl, the clip starts where she's already losing it, but the caption says, it was so stupid, it says a hyena found her Sancho with her best friend, which is basically like her dude and then her, anyway. So she's like, Rah! She's screaming. It kind of reminded me of like the chimpanzees are like ready to fight. And she's just jumping and jumping, and she has so much energy. I think that women also rage. I think that sometimes men have more power and strength. So if they get mad, there could be a lot more damage. But I've definitely seen women go bananas, or heard of women going bananas over feeling like she was disrespected.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I'm saying like statistically, there's 2 different in terms of like, no, they can rage, they can scratch up some stuff, but like the men die. I don't see a lot. There are women that die, but as far as like if we look at the homicides in any city, most of them are men, and there's a reason for that. Because, like I said, we do more damage, and so that's why I said when it comes to that, it's not even ego. Sometimes it's just sometimes like what.
Yeah, but men talk too.
I was going to say, to your point, no, men don't talk near the way that women do, especially about women that we were in relationship with. We'll tell you if we were dating somebody and we were using their body to masturbate.
That's what I said. He's saying that if he's with a hoe, right, and he went to a place and he found out she was a hoe, that means that the men were talking. Unlike if I was with you and you was community penis, women would be quiet because they want to maybe go back to that guy just in case.
That's a good point.
That's
so the point.
Lynette, thank you for making my point.
The part of your argument that I'm disagreeing with, Lynette, is that the whole community penis part. Because again, if a bunch of women chose a man to
no, your phone cut out, sir.
There's value add there because again, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, cool. There is value in a man who can sleep with 10 women if there's 20 women in the room. If that man has slept with 10 of them, there is some value to him that those 10 women got. Because again, 10 of y'all not gonna make the same mistakes. 10 of y'all not gonna pick the trash dude out of the other 20 to sleep with. So if he was able to knock 10 of y'all down, that's 1 out of 2. That's rare. That's like 1% of men that can do that. So the idea of this whole community penis thing, it stems from people trying to equate men and women's values sexually being the same, and it's not. There's not a double standard for men and women when it comes to sex. There's a different standard. Men have to earn their value. Women have to preserve theirs because they get it from birth. For the simple fact they have a vagina. If you look at a woman and say, people say, oh man, men will sleep with anything. The only people that say that tend to be the anything.
So what book this come from? Like, who wrote these rules?
Yeah, but I'm like, who's the
evolutionary psychology?
Okay,
well, I would say this.
Let me add this really quick. Sorry, y'all.
There's a book by David Bush you can read on evolutionary psychology.
So somebody said in the comments, can you guys speak for yourselves instead of generalizing? So I am going to speak for Yonci. I will reiterate, I don't mind, and this might be shocking, I would not mind if marrying someone who had a hoe phase. I would not mind. Would I prefer it? No, I wouldn't mind. My issue is solely, is that mess affecting me today? Does this person have a reputation? When he walks in a room, are people going, oh, look at that. Yeah, that dude, I had that. Or, man, that dude gets around. Oh, he's settled down now. If it's so bad that he has a reputation, that's a turnoff to me. But just the fact that he has the miles is not something that I'm going to cut someone off for. Whether that sounds good or bad, that's just my truth. So for me, it's not about, oh, he's valuable because he could get some. To me, that just means that you're not disciplined. To me, that means that you don't have discipline. That means that you don't value yourself, because if you're that promiscuous, there's a lot of chances you might not be using protection. A lot of these guys are knocking women up, so it means they're not thinking in the moment. To me, I actually look down on a guy who is extremely promiscuous, because to me it says you don't have a lot of impulse control. You see something and you just want to hit it. I hope my son never thinks that's a badge of honor to hit a bunch of chicks. I taught him since he was little. How amazing would that be to look at your wife standing at the altar and say, I saved myself for you? As corny as that sounds, as old school as that sounds, a woman will appreciate the fact that a woman that I think would be of his caliber would appreciate the fact that there aren't a bunch of women who have seen it. To me, that's a beautiful thing to know I'm the only one who's seen it, sat on it, whatever you want to say. That's pretty darn cool. If I actually allow myself to think about a partner who's been with other women, I don't like that. I don't like the idea that someone out there has had experiences and someone out there knows what makes him tick, and I don't like that. It's not a positive. There's no part of that I'm like, yeah, my man could get it. Now, if he has charisma, yes, I think that's cool. I don't want some dude who's all awkward and can't talk to people. I want a guy who has charisma. But to me, getting in a woman's pants, to me doesn't say a lot, because a lot of women will go for a guy just because he's handsome. He could be dumber than a box of rocks. He could be irresponsible. He could have 4 baby mamas. He could even be missing some teeth. But let him have some little muscles and catch a woman on a bad day where she has low self-esteem and he tells her she's pretty. I've seen it happen. So this argument that, you know, these guys really can pop their collars because they're doing a lot, I don't see it. I've seen rough guys get laid.
Can I ask a question, kind of pointing back to our old? I think you posted this a couple of weeks ago. About actually, it was in the last one I was on when it talked about men being with women who have OnlyFans, right? So would you think in general that a man who has had a history, had a past, divorced himself from that past, versus a woman who's had an extensive past and who divorced herself from that past, who would have a higher sexual marketplace value?
If people knew it?
If people knew it, it's unequivocal.
Yeah, I think that would be more of a strike against her with men.
Okay.
But also, I would say that's based on the person. It's based on my choice. If I know that and I choose to be with that person, yeah, we can all say generalization. Yes, we all can actually give that. But when it comes down to it, it's up to that person.
100%.
And that person making that decision. Because in that case, if then let's say that, because I read in the comments where that one of the ladies said that we judge too. We just give it. I think it was her name. I can't think of her name right now. But she said that we judge men as well for having multiple partners. We may deal with it, but we judge. But what I am saying is that I think it's unfair of us as men to say that this is what women accept when it's up to the individual person, and that's just gone through experience of talking to women, having conversation with our women. Yes, and I like exactly how Yonci put it. Yes, that is exactly how most women think, and a lot of women think that I know is that yes, you had your whole phase. Okay, yes, and there are some women out there that had their whole phase too. But it's your choice to actually deal with that person. And I think that's what we have to get to, is not generalizing everybody and get everybody to their personal choice.
I have something really important to say. I forgot to show this poll. Okay, I'm sure you guys were really, really waiting for this. The majority of men said they wanted an amazing face. I couldn't live with myself. I forgot to show it. When I did the poll again, it ended up being 50-50. But I think it's going to be the face that wins. Okay, I feel better now, you guys. Thank you. Do you want to say something, Willie, before we move on? And by the way, you guys, if you're watching the show, if you're one of the 50 people watching the show and you have not hit that like button, shame on you, but I still love you. Go ahead and close the chat if you are watching on a cell phone. Then you can see the like button. Then you can go back to the chat and keep watching. But please, and you know what? If you hit that like button, say I did, so we could shame those who didn't. Okay, we gotta let you quality stuff, man. What were you gonna say, Willie?
I was cussing somebody out. I'm sorry, in traffic.
Oh God.
Kat says she doesn't see it. Hopefully that explanation helps if you're watching on a cell phone. Thank you, Mr. Davis. I appreciate that. All right, guys, we are gonna get to the next question. I wish the layout was different. It would be rough toggling through this. Okay. Ooh, child. What is your biggest, not your biggest fear? I didn't even read. You guys want me to read the biggest fears? You want me to read it? 5 of them? Or we want to...
No, okay.
Okay. Meh. That was a meh gesture if I ever saw one. Okay. What is the cruelest thing a woman has ever done to you? These, I am going to start with the guys' comments, and we'll see what they have to say. All right. Woo! This guy said, my ex was flushing her birth control down the toilet for a few weeks while pretending to take them. And my son just celebrated his 11th birthday yesterday. Team vasectomy now. I know a couple of people who had that.
Exactly.
It's terrible. Of course, cheating would qualify. Aside from that, this Valentine's, I asked someone to a restaurant she had never been to about 3 weeks ahead. Oh, that's beautiful. She said yes. Never canceled, didn't show up. And while I'm at the restaurant waiting for her to show up, I see she checked in on Facebook at a Valentine's riverboat cruise.
And crap. Yeah.
Oh, worst thing a woman did to me was not only giving up the goods to a halfway house dude
That's terrible.
after I had been trying to court her for almost a year. Not a halfway house. He was trying to court her for almost a year. It was 2 weeks after he got out of prison. Then after me as a friend and her friends helped her out of that relationship, she went right back to it. Then kept doing that until some point she had us both dating her. Moving on. At this time, I was close to her kids, had to witness the stuff, and bought my first firearm due to that. She also claimed that she didn't know he did a felony level domestic violence to land him in prison. And it's one of those long stories and more complicated and worse than I'm even making it. Whoo. Okay. One more. He said the worst thing that's ever happened, she emptied 5 figures from the bank account on the 2nd of the month because she was leaving and going to file for divorce. Okay, I'm sorry. This one's too juicy. I have to read this one too. My ex-wife cheated on me with a married man who, in addition to cheating on his wife, was also cheating on my ex-wife with yet another woman. No, this one is the worst one. My ex-wife made fun of my mom's cancer and purposely didn't tell my aunt my meet and greet location when I was flying back from deployment overseas. Sadly, she passed away from cancer a few years ago, the one who was making fun. Whew, I'm not even going to keep scrolling. These just keep getting worse and worse and worse. Y'all.
Well, yeah. Did you publish those yet?
Yeah. They get them the week that we do the YouTube show.
Yeah, she published it. It was disgusting. I read all of them. I was disgusted, and I'm a woman. I couldn't do it no more. I stopped after the first few.
No, keep on reading. No, please keep on reading because
I was disappointed. I was very disappointed in the answers, and I said that in the comments on Patreon. Like, I was so disgusted. I just apologized to all the guys. I was I apologize on behalf of the women because I couldn't.
I got to go back and I'll read that.
Hey,
I've heard.
I'm on my way to my 17-year-old son's graduation, and his mom took her IUD out while I was on deployment and didn't tell me when I came back.
That is wild.
Ooh,
that is wild. Thank you to everyone.
That's why. Sorry. So no, that's why I said like keep on reading them, because I think if we had a better understanding of what each other went through as men and women, then you could understand and sympathize and sometimes even empathize as far as why some of the thought processes are had what they are. Right. So that's why I thought it's important for people to start, because when you've been done like that, most of the times that's the worst,
right?
You know, and like I said, so I think that would be really important.
It'll be balanced because I'm going to give the women an opportunity to share on one of the topics coming up too.
Yeah.
And that was exactly what my mindset was, is if we understood what people went through, you could understand the trauma. It's kind of like with non-Black people who don't understand the struggle. Like, no, we can't just walk around with a hoodie at night. You know, no, we can't
exactly.
And if you haven't been through it, you might think either they're exaggerating or it's not a big deal or whatever. All right, so let's read a couple more. Another same story. Kid's mom told me okay, I think it was a typo. Told me her doctor gave her birth control. Then once she was pregnant, I confronted her and she said, no, I said my doctor gave me birth control, not that I was taking it. She also emailed my job anonymously with lies of me selling drugs, RAPE, etc., just because he wanted to break up.
That's the one I didn't like.
Tarnishing someone's name and
that's what I didn't like.
Somebody get an allegation and she ended up recanting. That's next level. Like that's next level. Set up the life she wanted others to believe she had by using me and what I built to upgrade her to someone with a more luxurious lifestyle. Lied, cheated, would literally talk to men in the bathroom or in front of my face, saying she was talking to one of her girlfriends. stole money, ran up credit cards, then left me with nothing but debt and a broken heart. Jeez. Looking back, I laugh about it, but at the time it was devastating. Live and learn. Another guy said lied on me, to me, and about me. Someone else said, you want the top 10? None of them ranked in any order. They all got the same severity. And then he didn't listen to anything. This
I don't want
someone said, I don't know if you're ready for this one. And I don't think I am. He said, a woman I dated tried to force me to get a circumcision. She was.
That's interesting.
Yeah. She was.
Is that the coolest thing? Well, if it's against his religion or something like that, I guess.
She was giving hints every time we were intimate, and she worked in medical. For the record, nothing is medically wrong with my package. She just didn't like me in my natural state. Dang.
That's the cruelest thing.
Yeah, that's why I was like, is that cruel?
I guess that she wanted him to get a. Yeah, I guess it was a.
Yeah, she was tired of pulling the meat.
Unwrapping the
dealt with a guy that was uncircumcised. It is not a good. It's not fun.
And especially that hygiene ain't good either.
But anyway, we ain't gonna. That's another story. Maybe we could put that as a question for the men. Like any.
Someone else said she took his son for 6 whole months.
That's me here.
Okay, I wasn't gonna bust you out. Okay. He said, someone else said, going through that now, gut wrenching would be a huge understatement. I hate to say this, but I know someone who's going through it right now. It's evil what's happening currently. Someone else said, cheat, not telling the truth. My ex-wife cheated on me and told me on the phone and texted me a picture of her with the guy and thought it was a big deal and broke up the relationship after forgiving her the first time. The worst thing she did to him, he said, embarrassed me in a restaurant. Okay. Someone just said, where do I start at? And has the mind blown emoji. How about this one? I would have to say purposely not paying the mortgage or refinancing the house in her name post-divorce. I don't take partial blame for the situation only because I was uneducated on the subject. Berate me with her dishonesty. His ex-wife cheated multiple times. The worst was having unprotected sex with several men at a swingers party and then came home and had sex with me before showering. I was absolutely embarrassed having to go get tested. Thankfully, nothing.
Wait a minute. You said swingers. How did he know she was at a swingers unless they swing together and he wasn't there?
No. I'll give you an explanation. So
that goes swingers.
So what happens is yeah. So what happens is they actually have these parties in these actually facilities. There's like not one far, probably like 20 minutes from me, where women can get in free. They go in by themselves. They can get in free. Guys have to accompany a woman. So the women could literally go there, have a membership, do everything they want to do, and then just be there. They're free to go in there. And there's these rooms, there's couches, there's all kind of stuff like that. I thought it was really, I was like, oh, okay, people be out here like this. So no, so it could definitely happen. It's not a,
without her
man. Party?
I'm not about
this.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Cam. What's up? What's the story?
Now, was it wallpaper or was it mini blind? No, I was playing.
Oh,
you saying too much, Cam.
The carpet.
No, listen. I like keeping it funky. I like exposing these kind of things because people stay really quiet about it, and then you have people who are ignorant like myself, which was like, I don't know if you guys know my story, and I've told my story before. Like, my first girlfriend was my first wife. Like, I lost my virginity to her. So I didn't know nothing. So I'm out here studying, making sure that I ain't getting led astray. So I didn't want to get caught up. I didn't want to get
over there with his notebook. He's like,
exactly, like, interesting. So that's how I know it. I ain't been in one of those things. I don't be giving stuff up like that.
All right, Ken, because you was telling us you was breaking it down, baby.
Hey, like,
come to the door, give a ticket.
Now, if you get the wristband, you do get a free cocktail.
on Tuesdays, like.
But don't go anywhere Mike's at the door because oh my God, he has an attitude.
Yeah, he always trying to touch something in the dark room. It's crazy.
Look at me.
Let me tell y'all. Okay, what's the next? What's the next?
Woman said,
I'm done. Cam, you win tonight, dog.
Okay. Let me check the likes and see if you guys love me or you're just playing in my face. Let's see. It's uploading and taking forever. Don't show me an ad. I know I turned the ads on, but doggone, don't show them to me. Y'all, my internet has been tripping this week. All right. I got to wait for the thing to populate. Goodness gracious. There we go. Come on, show me my what you call it. It's literally just like grayed out at the bottom, like when the whole page isn't populated. That was dramatic. 29. All right, I'll take it. There are 9 of you who just don't want to, hit that like
Can we,
button.
can we do a collective boo? Can that be part of your thing? Like we do like 1, 2, 3, 4, boo.
Ooh.
Y'all see the struggle? I'm over here trying to click 50,000 buttons. I got graphics prepared for you. Do y'all know how much time this takes? This is a full-time job, doggone it.
It's showing 40 now though.
It's showing
Oh,
40.
it is?
I'll pull it up.
Are you talking about viewers or are you talking about likes? Because I'm counting likes.
There's 31 likes and there's 40 viewers.
Oh, well, maybe I'm tripping.
The shade. Well, will it into existence, girl? I'll take the 40. Okay. So this next guy says she broke up with me for another guy she had been cheating on me with, and then showed up to my birthday party with her boyfriend, not the guy she left me for, and proceeded to start making out on all the guest jackets in front of me. Oh my.
There's something crazy. Yeah, that's wild.
Tried paternity fraud. What she did was worse to her child. Dang, that was rough. Yeah, I see 30 likes now. Okay. Y'all, that was intense. Okay, let's get to the last question. By the way, if anybody wants to drop a love offering, I do have my Cash App at Pay Yonci, and I have super chats here on the tube. Welcome, Mont. Nice to see you, sir.
Hey.
Oh, what's up?
You got a man, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Here's the next
Dag,
question,
Mont.
y'all. Sorry. Could you date a woman your best friend had a crazy crush on? And y'all, the guys gave it to me for this one. They're like, who has crushes as an adult? Whatever. Okay. I'm a girl. I put questions like girl talk. So deal with it. But could you date a woman your best friend had a crazy crush on?
It had to be like way back in the day. It had to be like way back in the day, and then even then, it was like, my G, you were 12 years old. Like anything that was within any period of time, I can't imagine doing that, especially if we're still boys.
Wait a minute. Will said F y'all 9 people. That's right, Will. That's right. Thank you. Okay, y'all. Dawn did a Cash App of $20. Amazing, Dawn. Thank you so much. You guys, I have paid for my StreamYard for this month. I'll be bitter when that $49 hits, y'all. I'll just be bitter. Thank you, Dawn. Amazing, amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Question. And the debate within our group was on point. Notice that the key word in here was crush. It was crush.
Not had a history with.
So that was a key question. I have a group of friends that we're really, really cool, and we actually talk and we communicate with one another. I have seen friends, like, yo, I like this chick, but I see that she digging you, so it is what it is. And I've seen friends be like, yo, okay, well, since you digging her, then bro, I'll take the L. So I've been around friends like that. And then I've been around the friends that can't handle that. They be like, man, I can't believe that she like you over me. So I've been there. But my thing is that look at who has the choice in that situation. The woman has a choice too. And if she chooses one of the friends over the other friends, it is what it is. You can't get mad about it. So that's how that I look at it.
All right, let's see what they say in the comments.
I feel like it's different. I feel like when it comes to like, I don't think men have crushes. Like, I don't think, especially grown men. I don't think adult men have crushes. Because like to me, like, so with a girl, right? So let's say you have a crush on a guy, you're probably dreaming of a life with this man. You're probably dreaming of so many things, of marriage, all these type of things in your head. Like of just what could be, and you probably see so much potential beyond just attractiveness. And I think with men, we don't often do that. I think we see a woman, we're like, she's attractive. Oh, she's a good woman. And we like, those are the things that we think about, but we don't really go too much further because for the most part, if we wanted to be with a woman, we would be with her for the most part. So I think it's just a little bit different when you say crush for men. Like if my homie thinks the girl is attractive or cute, he just thinks she cute or she attractive, or he would do it to her, whatever. And as soon as I'm the one who, can attain her, he like, oh, okay, cool. It goes away instantly. It goes away. Oh, she was an attractive girl. There's a billion other attractive women out here. So it's instantly, just like if you see a woman who you think is really attractive with another man, it goes away. Oh, she has a man. Okay, cool. It's gone now, So I don't know. This is my opinion.
Well, you're entitled to it, sir.
No, I agree with him for the most part. It kind of works like that, or even as Isaac said, it's kind of like oh, with mature individuals. Like I said, I can't really see this like with the crush thing. Now, did you ask the question like that, or did we like start talking about it where it was like if you actually dated a girl in the past, like you actually had a history?
We had another question where it was with history, so they don't know that yet, Cam.
Okay, gotcha. Oh,
yeah.
that on.
I'm just kidding. Like it's super tough. But let's see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Lynette dropped $10. I had to acknowledge that. Y'all, you're going to get my little ghetto sound effects, okay? If that's the last thing I do. Y'all going to get these little sound effects. Thank you, Lynette, for the $10.
You're trying to upgrade. It's going to be good. It's going to be good next time.
It's going to get better once you get
I thought it was rain, but it's I got it.
Yo, chill. She said I thought it was rain.
I had to listen a little harder, but I got it.
Y'all, I'm going to speak this into existence. There's going to be a live audience. There's going to be a band. There are going to be actual people.
Oh, man, I love it. That's what's up.
I'll be like, and they're going. For now, y'all going to get these little sound effects. Okay. Sorry. I was just way too excited to play that. I lost all track of what we were talking about. Okay. Crazy crush. We're going to read a couple of these comments. Sorry, a friend of mine actually made me laugh. He said, could you date a woman your best friend had a crazy crush on? He said, yes, because he's already married. So he doesn't get his pick anymore. Another guy said, Tyra Banks? Yeah. Another guy said, nah. And I was so pissed. I don't know why I didn't do a poll on this because I like seeing everything all at once. Oh, and then we put the topic back up. Y'all smell like someone burning something downstairs. I'm going to text people. Y'all good? Okay. Hold on. There we go. Okay. I think it would be weird for a grown man to have a crush on someone, and I would probably just roast him for being such a, and then he put an emoji. Someone else said, yes, men don't have crushes on women the way girls do. We see a woman and want to sleep with her. Women see a man and dream of kids and marriage. So yes. Someone else said, no, I'd feel lame for that. But my friends are too old to be having a crush and not shooting their shot. One more I'll read. I've been in a situation a couple of times. I always ask how deep the crush or relationship, if any. Once it was too deep to get involved with her. And the other one, my homie said it wasn't anything crazy. Yeah, ladies, what do you think? If we're girls and let's just say, she mentioned this guy. Oh, he's so cute. Oh my gosh, da-da-da-da-da. And then your friend ends up coming and saying, oh my God, he asked me out. Are you picking that or no? But first.
That's better. It's louder.
It's much better. Sounds like a plane though, but at least it's a plane.
Not you guys roasting her. Yo.
Y'all won't let me be great. Manda sent in. Wait, let me see if I got it right.
I sent in $10 from Zelle. I don't know how to do YouTube, and I don't have Cash App. Just to put it out there.
No. Keep on doing it that way.
Yeah, she gets this better.
I will take it. Thank you, Manda. I appreciate the love. It'll be my own cast members, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate that. So ladies, are we stepping on toes? Should toes not even be worried about at our big age? What are we doing?
It depends on who the friend is, because I got some friends are crazy, some friends who, fine with it, some don't care. I don't care, but it just depends.
You know what would be weird though? Like, let's think this all the way through. Let's say Amanda and I are friends, and she is just like, he is fine. He is my type to the T. Oh my gosh. Then he asks me out. We become a couple. Am I really wanting Amanda around? Like, I feel like that would be a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be weird. She over here like.
That haven't happened to me since I was younger. I think it happened with my cousin. The guy liked me or her, and vice versa, and something had occurred. But what I would do, I would ask my cousin, you sure you good with this? I would ask the person, are you sure you good with this? Even though I know if they say no, then I'm gonna just let it be. Like, it's too many men and women out here to be worrying about just one.
I have a question for the women. So real quick, how deep does that run though? Because as far as it seems like, let's say if there was never even anything, like, let's say there was nothing actually that happened between somebody, but like, let's say there was an attraction on one side or the other. Like, let's say a guy really liked you, kind of the same situation, or how Yonci put it. Is that really deep? Like what Yonci's talking about? Does that really run deep? Or it's like, hey, I got with that guy, we kept on going on, but she was really attracted to him. Like, if you guys are good friends, would that be something that kind of would like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna leave him home with her? Like, if I ever had to run to the store, if she's my good friend, is it like that? Is that bad for?
I don't think if the friend crossed that line, it's time to cut her.
But you would give her the opportunity.
If my friend can't trust me to stay in the house, let's say she go to the store, her man or whoever is there, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it might be some women that cross that line. It might be some women that don't care and they sneaky link with it. But for me, I'm speaking for me. Nah, my friend can't trust me. That's a problem. That's not that. It's a big problem.
What about you trusting a friend? Same thing.
I would trust my girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
I trust all my girlfriends. First of all, I don't call everybody a friend. Let's get that straight. There's friends, there's associates, there's co-workers, there's acquaintances, and there's enemies. Everybody don't get that friend name. And every friend is not going to be around the people you love like that. Associates, only your friends. So that friend word is for me, is a powerful word. Because for me, a friendship is loyalty. A friendship is a lot of things. For others, they misinterpret what a friend is. Me, I have no problem with separating association from friendship. And I done told people in their face, you an associate, we're not friends. So I don't know. Everybody.
How are you? Oh, go ahead.
So the diamond situation is not gonna happen to all the player clubs. That's not gonna happen with none of y'all.
Who? I haven't seen Player Club in years. What is that?
Well, the most famous scene.
Her cousin slept with her boyfriend.
Oh well. No.
Oh, that's cut off. That's ass beating.
How we went from just crushes to
Players Club. That's Cam. You know, Cam be throwing some rocks and glass and situations.
I'm like, we up here changing the question, but no.
No. I'm just saying.
I actually had one of my close friends married a guy that I had dated, and me and her still close. We didn't have. It wasn't no. We went on 1 or 2 dates, but I wasn't really feeling him like that. But later on they got together and they loved each other, and it's fine.
Can I tell y'all some tea?
The wedding.
Go ahead.
The juiciest tea that has ever happened during coaching. So I was coaching a client. Everything was going great, and with the ladies, there's really not a need to say the guy's name. So sometimes they just don't want to use a name. And so I always default to Bob. So we'll just call him Bob. Okay, what did Bob do? Whatever, just so they can have the conversation. So I had a client, and I believe we had done a couple of sessions, and she's just sharing intimate details and all this, and I'm giving information. And for whatever reason, this one particular session, she's like, oh, I'll just show you his picture.
Somebody that you hadn't been with, Yonci?
Bob is in my phone.
I already know.
Bob is my phone. And I was like, thank God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit that nothing transpired. I hadn't even kissed the man. He gave me the ick, but we had gone on, I don't know if you call it a date because he was just so weird. It was like a meet up-ish kind of thing. Weird. But that was the most awkward situation. And I was like, I have to be forthcoming. Like, this is weird. It's an elephant in the room for me. And I just told her and I let her know, like, literally nothing happened. It was so long ago, blah, blah, blah. He still follows me on Instagram. But I said,
what about if something would have happened, how would you handle that in confidentiality, or how would that work? Like,
I think I wouldn't have given specifics, but I would have just said, not that there's a conflict of interest, but I feel I think that would be too uncomfortable for me. Like, that would
Did you recuse yourself from the coaching?
Yeah, that's what I offered to her. And she was like, no, I think you would actually be better in a position to give me advice. And I was like, that's very mature of you. And I actually was, because what's interesting was the advice that I gave her was dead on for, because based on the things that she was saying, I was like, oh, he sounds kind of like this and this. And it was exactly the same vibes I had got from him. So it was so interesting that her intuition was right. But I couldn't imagine.
But Yonci, but that's the flip side that we don't always get to see. I feel that sometimes we as adults forget to be adults.
Oh, I thought there was more coming. I was like, waiting. Okay.
That's what I was waiting on, the sound effect.
Okay, I gotta have them ready. Okay, or if somebody does something wrong, you might get this. Okay.
What? Oh, what was that?
The door slam.
I caught that.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's something else. Okay. Anyway, all right. Let me go back. I'm being too silly. Okay, we're gonna get to the submitted question, y'all. Okay, we are gonna get to that. This should be pretty exciting.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, we're almost
perfect.
I like that one.
That was perfect.
That was good.
That was dope.
1 in 20. That's amazing. All right, guys, we're almost to the end. It's not quite 10 minutes away, but I don't have another graphic that says we are 27 minutes away. So feel free to drop a super chat or drop me a Cash App at PayYonci if you are interested. Let's get into the submitted question. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you. Come on.
It's about to get juicy now.
Oh, all right. Let's see if I can handle these graphics now. Okay. Here we go. And here we go. And look at that. Okay. So graphics. Okay. Let me see what I like better. Ooh, I like that. All right. So let's go here and we'll take that away. Y'all, I'm going to refresh this. Hope y'all hit that like button. Okay. Here is the question. She said, no, not she. This is a he this time. Good catch, Lynette. He said, Yonci, can you please do a post for men explaining why women are so afraid? That's how I read it with all caps. Of the world. What I mean is, when I saw the responses on how women feel with a masculine man, and most of them said, I don't have the need to be afraid. I can feel safe and something like that. Us guys don't understand this concept that women have of being afraid and being able to finally relax. So I want to invite those of you to share, ladies, what that feels like. Why did you get this way? And it's similar to what Cam was saying about, hey, if you understand what guys go through, maybe you have empathy. I think that Meek is going to jump out of her skin.
No, I'm definitely going to jump out.
Hey, Yonci, real quick. I think that he should have said he instead of us guys.
They
should have said he.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because the guys tore him a hole.
They did. They said, don't speak for us.
Don't speak for us.
We don't speak it on behalf of Yonsternation.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought Cam wrote the question because I was trying to figure out who wrote it. I said,
It wasn't me.
Cam is like Curious George. So I was like, at first I was like, Cam ain't like
that's a good one.
Play that.
That's a good one.
Curious.
In
No
the bag.
offense,
'Cause that
yeah,
was a crazy question.
It was like Curious George, so he'll just ask, random questions.
But I think I can weigh in for how he feels, and I appreciate. I can't see the gentleman's name. That is not for all men, but I think that the gentleman.
that's right.
I think the man that posed this question, he is dealing with women that do not feel emotionally safe in his presence. So he cannot create a space where a woman feels safe emotionally. And he's taken that as like a masculine, feminine type thing, which I hate. But a woman will automatically default if she does not feel emotionally safe. We will close off. We will be hard. We will do everything in our power not to give what we need to give to the opposite sex if we do not feel emotionally safe. So I believe, from my perspective, that's what that is.
Oh my God. Okay. That's the best I could do. I got to scramble and find some.
Yeah.
Your horn was immaculate. I do have to say that. I appreciate it.
He's like, we're going to focus on the positives. Okay. Any other ladies? Thank you for sharing. Any other ladies want to share their idea or their thoughts?
You know what?
That script did not need to be that hard. I'm just saying.
She had a sound effect with that. There's a sound effect with that.
It almost came out of my nose when I started laughing. I almost got punished immediately. Karma. Sorry, y'all need to take that.
I will wait for her to finish sipping on that drink because she real thirsty.
That wasn't a sound effect. Oh. She's like, that's so you could do that when you're looking for the tea.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
As y'all know, you know what I'm like.
Yeah, that's the tea.
Okay, sorry, y'all. I'm just getting a little carried away. Okay, and I haven't even been drinking, you guys. I'm just
That's
excited.
natural high. That's all right. That's
Natural
a natural high.
Okay, you want to see me drinking? Go to Zuminga. Y'all will see it there. Okay. Any other ladies? They know the ones that know.
I just thought it was a ridiculous question because why women are so afraid of the world. I'm like, is he not aware of what's going
Part
on
of the world?
Like how women are being treated. I don't know.
Okay, so I want to make it clear. I did not write this question at all, but I sympathize.
I can vouch that he did
Not at all. Listen, I just answered the worst thing a woman did to me. So I already answered. I told you, oh, that's me. I have no problem. Yep, she did that. So I have no problem being honest and trustworthy. It's just that when a lot of words are used a lot of times, and so sometimes when certain words are used in certain contexts, we know what safe is. Safe means as far as that means that I'm out of harm's way in danger. Well, I don't think you always think about emotional safety and all that other kind of stuff. So I think this was an honest question. I think he was just trying to understand, like, okay, what do you mean by like safe? Because like, for instance, y'all engage the world, y'all do all the kind of stuff. But I know that sometimes when a man is around, like I've noticed that I've gone out on dates, for instance, and I noticed that like I would watch this woman, let's say if she's doing her own thing for the most part, she kind of sticks and moves and does all the things. But when she's in my presence, she kind of like, there's almost like a visible, like she might step over here, not even think, oh, okay, I'm in somebody's way. Like there's a level of like
into this traffic before.
Yeah, no. So what I'm saying is like, but there's like you literally like there's a relax. There's a full. I even do case management stuff a lot of times, and when I come and step in and I just reassure, and I have a lot of clients that are young ladies, and like when I reassure them about like, hey, we'll help you with this or help you with that or help you with that, just the presence, even not in a romantic way, they feel so much better because there is a lot of stress. And a lot of women manifest stress. It seems like, I'm not trying to talk for women, but I just encounter them a lot, especially in my work. It's like there's a lot of stress that they don't show on the social media. And it's like, oh, okay, when they're around, that presence that can kind of give them a relief, you can actually see it in visible way. The Beyonce concert, oh my gosh, I have to say this and I'll leave. But, oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to add an example, but you can finish.
Oh, yeah. No, I just want to say this because I thought this was the dopest thing I've seen recently. So my mom invites me to the Beyonce concert, right? I would never just buy a ticket on the Beyonce concert just because that's not.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like at this point, maybe, I don't know. But as far as like So, but she has an extra ticket for the Beyonce concert, and she has my
That would actually be smart as
nieces.
a guy, though. Sorry,
Say it again.
that would actually be kind of smart. There'd be tons of ladies there.
No, true. I didn't think, I'm just, it was just one of those things like, hey, Cameron, you want to go? You're great company. And I'm like, okay, cool. And my nieces were there and my mom was there and everybody else was there. And so as I came in there and I'm looking at these women, and of course I'm looking at them because like they're not the greatest seats, whatever like that. But at the same time, it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm watching all these people around me. I'm like, this girl probably works retail. She probably bought the tickets on her firm and she's enjoying her life. Like she's literally, it was the coolest thing to watch, to just see them just like relax and let their hair down and just have fun, because I usually see them in the context of like, Cameron, I can't pay my rent and my boyfriend is beating me, so it was just cool to see the juxtaposition of like, I know that a lot of women, though they don't say it, they're things. So like being safe sometimes it's just being able to like relax and relieve yourself, and it's not always like a direct safety thing. It's just sometimes being able to like chill and let your hair down. So
there's a trending video where they show the woman is with the guy and then it plays what's in his head and he's like, okay, 6 o'clock, and he's being vigilant and surveying everything, and then it cuts to the woman and she's like, ah, da, 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 da. And I relate to that. I like to compare it to when you're a kid and you went to the grocery store or the mall, you never even thought about where you parked. You just got out of the car and held your mom's hand. Mm-hmm. And even when you're walking, you're like, oh, have you ever reached around and touched someone's thigh and then you're like, oh, it's not my mom. Like, because you're just in your own world, you're free. And I feel like as women and our feminine, that's as free as we can get. Like where we're not, it's like all these windows are open and all these tabs are open and we can just close all the tabs and focus on the movie. And so I was giving an example when I was married. I would go to the airport, he would buy the tickets, whatever. And I would know what time to show up. I'd show up, I'd pack, and then we'd somehow just end up at the gate. And I remember after getting divorced, like I was married for 12 years, I literally had to relearn how to go through an airport. I was like, okay, I need to calculate how soon the gate is where, like all of that, to the point one time I forgot that the boarding time and the flight time are two totally different things. And I was measuring the flight time and I think I either missed, that was like the one time I missed my flight because I'm sitting there like, oh, I have time to eat. No, that's the takeoff time, not the boarding time. But that is an amazing feeling. I have been extremely fortunate to not feel afraid for my safety. I will say though, going into an environment that's very social, like a nightclub type of thing, I absolutely like to go with, if I'm in a relationship with my guy or if I'm not, with my guy friends, because I like a buffer. Because for whatever reasons, dudes just feel in that setting, I could just grab you. Like you go into the restroom and they grab me. I hate it. Like you don't need to make contact. You can use your words, or they'll try to dance on you all close and your personal space feels invaded. But that's my experience. Any other ladies want to?
When I read this question, I was trying to give the fella benefit of the doubt, and I said maybe he has not sat around women and actually had a conversation with them. And then I thought about that again. I said, shucks, he just watched the daggone news, and he could see it without really asking the question. But it made me also say that maybe he's just inexperienced in this arena, and that's the reason why that he asked the question for clarity. Um, I, through life experiences, of course, you gain experience and you gain wisdom as you go through life, and you pick up a whole lot of things. Um, so I don't know. I was trying to give him benefit of the doubt, and I just couldn't. So I don't know. I was like, it's like, do you have a mom? Like, have you ever been around your mom when she's by herself versus when she's with her, versus when she's with her husband or your dad, either one, or when she's with her brothers? Women, the entire body language of a woman change when she's in a place of security. Her entire body language. And then the amazing part, just like you said, Yonci, it's things that we see, it's things that we think about that you're completely oblivious to. Because we can ask you a question, did you just see that? And you'd be like, what? Mm-hmm. You didn't see that move? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Like, I didn't see nothing. It's because the fact that we are consistently watching. Yeah,
Yeah, Monte is
everything that's
hypervigilant.
actually going
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Where
I
he
think
parks, he thinks about where he parks, how quick
Mhm.
he can get out of a location. Like, just you would almost think he has a military background with the way that he thinks. What were we gonna say, Lynette?
I agree with that because when I go out with my male friends and my uncles and things, they always have me, like when you go to a restaurant, they always seated looking at the door.
Mm-hmm.
They refuse, or they have me sit right next to them as we eat in the restaurant, just so they can. It's like they looking at all these exits.
Yeah.
As we sitting there ordering our food, they over there looking around and see who's behind them, who's on the side of them, who's along the side of them. It's I think the person that asked the question is young. That's what I got from that question. Somebody younger asked that question.
And my
Or
mama Yonci came out on that one.
yeah,
Because some
that
people were going in on him. Sorry, Lynette, I was gonna say this. Some people were going in on him, and I felt like it was heavy-handed in the sense that I have asked questions that probably seem dumb, and that's always a fear for some people is asking a question that people think is dumb. You know, you go to teacher classes and teachers like, there's no dumb questions, but you're like, yeah, maybe there are some.
Yeah,
But
because this one chick went in, and I was
oh,
like,
she went in.
"Yo,
she
he
did.
asked for clarity,
Right.
and you are bashing him for asking for clarity."
Which is why, like, somebody responded by saying, "This is why we like Yonsternation, because we
That's
can
right.
move and the way we need to move." But I think that there are some things that men are ignorant of, and I think that there are some things that women are ignorant of, and I definitely think that we need to create a space though that fosters feeling safe to ask. Ironically, talking about safety, and I think that there's a way that we could still express, like what Amanda was saying about how would you not know this? Maybe we could say, wow, that's surprising. Or somebody gave advice I thought was phenomenal. They said, you know what? The best thing you could do is go talk to your mom or sisters, or if you have a daughter, and ask them about their experiences. It's going to be very eye-opening. To me, that's coming from a place of, I really want to educate this person. I look at it like, thank goodness he cares, because he could just be like, I don't give a crap. So I never would want someone to feel like something is stupid. And, even with the submitted question, sometimes women will ask something. And if you've always been confident or you've always had high self-worth, some things are going to look really obvious to you. But to some people, they find their identity in being picked by the opposite sex, and they make decisions and mistakes that, seem silly maybe to us. But I think it's a blessing that either we're healed or we've never struggled with those things. So I think it's just a good reminder to be compassionate to people, because it does take bravery to comment on things.
Yeah.
And,
Hey, Yonci, can I make this comment to the?
I'm sorry. I think I had cut Lynette off, so I want to let her
No,
thoughts.
I'm good. Go ahead. The guys have
Okay.
it.
But Cam, say yours, and then Isaac, I'll have you jump in.
Oh no, I was saying I think that they responded that way because they thought I wrote the question. That's probably what it was. I'm
sorry, Cam. I just thought it was you. I mean,
Cam, is that you? Blink twice.
I'm joking. I'm just.
Yeah.
No, I do ask crazy. I do ask questions. Yeah.
Are you guys enjoying the show? Are you enjoying the show? We're going to do something fun. This is not for the sake of showing favoritism. We're just going to be all in fun. Who is your favorite cast member tonight? Are you enjoying Mont? If you're enjoying Mont, raise your hand. Him and his chips. He came on with some chips. We're all jealous. All right. If you are enjoying Isaac, I'm going to go in order that's on my screen. If you're enjoying Isaac, if you can raise your hand, comment Isaac. If you are enjoying our guest, Meek, go ahead and raise your hand, Meek. Comment Meek, M-E-E-K. I forgot because you guys can't see the names. If you are enjoying Cam, right in the center, comment Cam. Oh, Isaac got a vote already. If we are enjoying Lynette, if you could just wave. I want you to do like this, like the airport, because your scarf is reminding me of a flight attendant. They're so sexy. The doors are this way, exits. There we go. This is where the like button is. Please hit like and subscribe. If you are enjoying Lynette, go ahead and comment Lynette. If you are enjoying Manda, wave your hand. You guys can put Manda. I forgot what I was trying to say. If you are enjoying my alter ego in the second cam, comment second. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Don't vote for me. All right. So let's see. We got Isaac. We got another Isaac. Oh, they're feeling you, Isaac. Isaac and Cam, go Manda. I love it.
Yonci,
Yes, sir.
Can I say this
Maybe.
about men being operating in our masculine energy? You know that there are times that we are afraid too, and even in protecting you, there are times that we are just environments that we do become afraid. Um, just a little nugget, ladies, take time to acknowledge the man for taking care of you and for standing up for you, because sometimes I'll be wondering if they go down in here, are you gonna jump in if I'm getting beat?
Oh
Sometimes
wow,
I do wonder that. Hey, let's be real with it. Let's be
I'm
real with
jumping
it.
in.
You know,
There's nothing
you
going
know.
down with my man being there.
But honestly, there are sometimes we've entered environments and we are afraid too. We just don't let you know, but we are afraid as well.
I think that there is a layer, and I would like to do a show on this so we could really unpack it. Um, but there is a level to which I think men cannot be vulnerable. I remember somebody asking a question, and I was about to give my knee jerk answer, and then I had to really stop and go, is that the truth? And it was something around, if a man was completely vulnerable and transparent, could you still respect and admire him? And I hated that my answer was actually no, because
Yeah.
that's not politically correct. But I was like, man, it's true. There's a level of stoicism, or stoic, is it stoicism? That, am I saying it correctly? That a man has to present in order for a woman to feel safe. And I hate to always compare it to women and children, but that's the closest thing I could think of. But it's like a child, you could be loving and have an open relationship, but you can't say to your kid, I'm terrified as they're being wheeled into surgery. Like you're going to freak the kid out.
Right.
So I feel like I feel empathy towards men, that there is a level to which they cannot sweat in front of us, and kind of walking that tightrope of what can I show her? What can I not? I was watching this show on Netflix. Don't say the name if you guys figure out what it is. I hate movies with cheating in it. And so the cheating came and just ruined it for me because I was all excited for the characters. But anyway, there was a scene where the guy was all excited to begin his life with the woman and be this family. And he didn't get the job that he thought he was going to get. And he started really struggling to get the job. And I was like, wow, he would rather walk away from the whole situation than be able to say to her whatever. Like there's the ego, or if it's, you don't think the job is good enough. I think men put so much pressure on themselves, but I also think it's rooted in the reality of how women are. And I think it sounds great to be like, I wouldn't care, da 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 da. But there is, to a degree, a level in which we look at our man like father-like. I'm curious in the comments if you ladies agree, gentlemen, if you agree. I think there are certain levels that they can't go to. And I heard somebody say, it was a therapist. She had a very unique name. I wish I could remember her name. But she was a Black therapist. And she said, some things you talk to your therapist about, it should not be in couples counseling. Some things you need to work on individually or with your guys. Some things, ladies, you talk to your girls or your therapist. And I was like, I think I agree.
Okay, I have that brings up a question. Unless somebody else want to go first.
Well, I'll go real
asking
quick.
a question?
You gonna come up with some scenarios and stuff. We got.
Yeah, let me gotta make our statement before Cam even go into a full paragraph.
Me and Lynette go. But I will say I agree with. I'm gonna let her finish with her new sound effects. But
collecting Cam, she was getting them together. I was like, oh my.
So
Cam, we love you.
I almost forgot the question with the
and not being able to be super duper vulnerable. Should you?
Oh yeah. So I agree with Yonci on that one, because I experienced that. So I had a guy, and we were connecting and everything, but he had anxiety. And honestly, him having anxiety, I felt like he was always crying about something. It made me take on more of a masculine role. Like I thought, okay, now I go in this.
Call me a baby.
if the guy come approach me, he gonna stand behind me, and I'm gonna have to be the protector. So that's what I felt like. I didn't say he was gonna do that, but it just made me feel like I had to be the one to pop off if something was to happen when we together. So I had to let that go because of that. So I get it. So I felt like with him, and I felt bad about it too. I was like, man, this man got anxiety. And I'm up here leaving him because it was just too much for me emotionally dealing with that. So now I was like, I understand what men feel about this when women do that. So he needed therapy. I couldn't stay. I'm sorry, I didn't have the capacity. I just didn't.
I did want to add something. I think like popular, contrary to popular belief, I think men actually are probably more afraid than women typically. And I only say that because a lot of men aren't actually like, I think people think of men, they're like these big strong guys. Most of them aren't, right? Like most men are not that, and they're operating in a world where certain men are that big strong guy. And I think more women would talk to me disrespectfully than men. Like, I'm a big guy, and I think a lot of women may talk to me a certain way, and a lot of men will be more cautious when talking to me a certain way. Because they're operating out of fear of like, okay, I've been punched in the face before. Like they're operating from that thing. Men have been punched in the face before. They know what it feels like by being punched by another man. And most women probably don't know what that feels like. So men are always operating with that. I already had my hand put in fire. So they know, so in certain instances, men do operate out of fear every day when they're, every day. So
yeah. Quick question, y'all. This has never happened where I've completely lost track of time, but we are 3 minutes out, and y'all know the rule. If we want to continue, I have some more juicy questions that I want to ask. We still have our segment for the feature. If you guys want to continue, y'all could let me know with your dollars. Otherwise, I will not be mad. We will pick up next week and do a double feature. Okay. But what is it? I think we said 50 for another hour. So if y'all want to do that moving forward, that can happen. Otherwise, I'm going to be wrapping up in 2 minutes. Y'all, this time flew by.
The game is on. I'm gonna go watch the game.
I was gonna say that's where Monte is right now. He's watching the game. I do appreciate. Speaking of the game, I do appreciate you guys joining in and while the game is on, because that's a really, really big deal. Meek, go ahead and say hello.
Would have got it if the game wasn't on.
Okay, good. Look, I'm not mad. I'm gonna go do my workout because I didn't get a chance to this morning. I was being lazy. Meek, go ahead and wave. She came on the other night and she was struggling in the car, but she still pushed through. So yes. Gave her a chance to come back. I will bring you on if it is okay. The combo got juicy. If you want to come on again next week, you're more than welcome to. I really apologize. We didn't have as much time. What are these comments? Oh, okay. I'm looking at these. Y'all, did you enjoy the show tonight? Did everybody have a good time?
I definitely enjoyed it.
Yay. I love that we can disagree and still be respectful. Those watching, if you're on my Patreon page, feel free to come in and join the panel. Lynette, Amanda, let them know. Is it scary up here?
No, it's
not.
It's comfortable.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So feel free to come in. Shout out to Clemmy. I see you. So I'm going to sign off, but I have a couple of church announcements that I'm going to give before I go. So y'all work with me here. I'm gonna see if I can get my graphics together. Okay. And thank you, panel. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Okay, where's my little button? Here we go. Okay, I gotta click here. If you are living under a rock and you don't, I forgot to switch for you guys. If you're living under a rock, am I doing it right, you guys?
Yes.
For me. Okay. You're not on Instagram and you don't know. Follow my page, Chasing Yonci. Fun fact, the reason why my brand is called that, because I was just a single chick trying to understand men. I was chasing the highest version of myself in Christ. So for those of you who are wondering, no one's chasing me. I'm chasing the highest version of myself in Christ. Okay. Next thing, if you are a man, meaning you have an Adam's apple, you got boy parts, only then you can send a follow request to Yonsternation. I forgot it's over here this time. Yonsternation. If you are not in the Adam's apple club, don't even send the request, because I do block women who ask, because it's frustrating. And I think that you don't have reading comprehension skills. So go ahead and follow Yonsternation. You can contribute to the questions that are asked every week. You can give your answers. It's a good time. At least the guys say it is. Most importantly, Zoomingle. That is happening tomorrow. I'm very excited. I host it, so I get to peek in there. Sorry for those of you who are not single, you can't see, but it's a good time. Everybody comes in, they chit chat, they meet up. Like I said, you can move into a private room if you want to talk one-on-one. You can go into a group of people if you just want to chat in there. It's super, super fun. We start at 8 o'clock and we've gone to like 2 in the morning before. It's crazy. I literally fell asleep and told someone, hey, just hit me when it's ending, because it's just taking a long time, but I'm here for it. And so all you have to do is go to patreon.com/Yonci. I forgot it's opposite, so it's going to be like this. Yeah, /Yonci. You can subscribe there, and that's a monthly subscription, but every month you'll get the link to the Zoomingle and you can jump on there. For now, the men of Yonsternation are free for now. Okay. But that could change. So I'm leaving that out there for y'all. Cam had to go, so he said bye, y'all, in the private chats. Let me know again if you are coming. Oh,
I was about to say,
my goodness.
I was about to say.
Where's my little...
Was that Willie?
Thank you, Clemmy.
Clemmy.
Thank you, Clemmy.
That was Clemmy. We are not doing the church announcements. We are getting back to the show. Y'all are out of control. God bless you, Clemmy. I was halfway down the stairs about to put on my yoga pants, but I'll take it, Clemmy. All right. Thank you so much. I don't, what is that called? Pounds? Is it 49 pounds? European? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But you guys, for real, come to Zoomingle. It's fabulous. I want to see a bunch of new people there, and y'all got me discombobulated. Now I got to get my graphics back together. Okay, we're going to continue. Anybody from my Patreon page who wants to join the show? Y'all, really, I'm not joking. I can't find my, there we go. Okay. Anybody who is on my Patreon page and you want to join the show, hit that link and,
come on in. The water's warm.
Thank you so much, girl, because I can't think and be hunting for these buttons at the same time. Okay. Oh, goodness. Woo!
We was going to say, let's get the umbrella. We're like,
they shut in.
Shut it in.
Oh, my God. Okay. So let me go ahead and snooze this. This is supposed to come up tomorrow. All right, y'all. You guys in the comments are going to be able to submit a question if you have a suggestion. Those of you on the panel, you guys can do the same, and we will add it to the board. But let me just get this set up so I can focus. Okay. All right. So we are continuing for one more hour. He said, keep going and grab a quick bite and come back. Okay. All right, y'all. Any topics that you want to, you guys want us to discuss? Okay, respond here. Let me get back to my comments. He said, looking at the front door. Okay, Clemmy, baby, making it rain. I love that. All right, so let's get into some stuff. What do we want to? Oh, I told you I had something juicy, and I totally forgot. I forgot when I close out of here, it like moves the file, so I didn't see it. Okay, y'all ready for this video? Okay. All right, so it is. Dang it. How do I get back to it? Hold on, y'all, because I have to be able to play this. I don't know why it kicked it out. All right, let's see if I can put it on here while I'm in the studio. Oh, I think it's letting me. Watch out.
And I divorced because I was fat.
Okay, let me start it again. Okay, ready, guys? Could you guys hear the sound? Okay.
Healthier life. She looks amazing. No surgery, no diet, 12 months.
Oh, we can rewind it, I think. Okay,
My
here we go.
5-year husband and I divorced because I was fat. He regrets it now, and I live a healthier life.
I saw
She looks
this one.
amazing. No surgery, no diet, 12 months. I did it.
I put the coffee name on my homepage. If you need to lose weight, you can try it.
So then when you go to the comments, the things people won't do for love, but will do out of spite. You should refund him for wasting his time.
Why not do it while married?
That's the thing. He didn't deserve you at your best because you never gave it to him.
That's a weird way to say I didn't care about myself while I was married. Comment section backfired.
Too fat to keep my husband, but look at me now. Gets remarried and gains it all back.
They won't change for the man they're with, but they'll change to replace him.
A bar.
So did you guys hear what transpired? Did anyone miss it? Okay, so so the girl did a post and she said, you know, my ex-husband and I broke up because I was overweight. She used a different word. She could say that, I can't. And once they broke up, within what did she say, 12 months or 12 weeks or 12 months, she lost it. So what are you guys' thoughts? Is that a flex?
So she wait until you said boyfriend or husband?
Husband.
They got
Okay,
divorced.
so she waited. He told her she was overweight, and she waited until they got a divorce
Yeah.
To lose weight. So
why
that's not a
she didn't
flex
lose
at all.
weight while she was married?
That's not a flex.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a flex. That
That's not
means
a
you
flex.
waited to after 12 months after he left you and told you about your weight to lose weight.
But I will ask this question. Did he divorce her over her weight?
That's
Or
what
was
she
it
said.
Yeah, he divorced over
Here we
weight.
go. Here we go.
Husband and I divorced because I was fat.
She said because she was, you know, big bone. So I, you know, at first I was like, nah, girl, you know, you supposed to stay that size that he met you. But the question is, did he meet her big and then expect her to lose weight? And so that was one of the questions. And I was like, well, what if she was just so stressed out in a relationship that she was emotionally eaten because he was a terrible husband? And that's why she didn't lose the weight. So that's what I was thinking.
Or did she have children and never lost the baby weight? But even then, another thing is, did he offer to help her lose weight and she refused? You never know what the answer was.
So let's do a hypothetical for the sake of the argument. What if it was a scenario where she had the mindset, you should just love me how I am, for bigger, for smaller, and richer, poor. And he said, no, I just can't deal. And then she went out and lost it. What are your thoughts?
Why she didn't do that when he was in a relationship?
Why she didn't do that? Why she's exactly my same.
That's what I said. Right.
Yeah. I mean,
because he wasn't attracted to her anymore because of her weight.
Yeah, because he didn't meet her like that.
Right. And isn't men visual? So if you visual and you was proportioned a certain way, like boom, pow, boom, and now all of a sudden you just a bloop, then I mean, you just there he's not attracted to her, meaning he probably wasn't even sleeping with her. That's what it sounds like.
I think there's a difference between somebody having you know, some kind of a disability or something out of their control versus not being able to put chips down. Like, I think that's not fair to play the, you know, we're in this forever, you should love me no matter what card. Because if the guy, let's just say, quit his job and said, well, you should just love me for me, not because I can provide, she'd feel away. I really think that our person shouldn't have to ask us. Like, I think we should be motivated to get in there and look your best. I know for me personally, I want to feel my best.
Exactly.
Even if my partner's supporting me and they don't say anything about my weight, I have a mirror. I can see that my jeans can't zip.
Yeah.
I can step on a scale. And so, yeah.
I mean, everybody's different. Like for me, I love, like my job is mostly exercising anyway. I'm always walking, I'm always running, I'm always up and down the stairs. But even besides that, I like to roller skate. I like to ride a bike. Like there's things for me being an older woman that I love. But see, my metabolism not going to even allow me to get big. I could get the pooch though. I get that fupa, but I won't gain that weight where I look, I could reach a size 10, 11, 12. It's just not in my metabolism.
Jacob says men don't leave women because they gain weight. Are we agreeing with that, guys? Is a guy actually saying, I'm done with you because you're overweight?
Facts. It's the mindset. It's the mindset of what you said. Accept me for what I am.
Who I am, yeah.
And it's like, okay, so do you want to be better? Do you want to be healthy?
Yeah.
So I gotta look at, are you
Yeah.
having health issues due to the weight gain? So there's a lot to go in there. There's a lot.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
you're gonna be wearing a bodysuits where you can't breathe every time you go out. Like
Yeah, I don't like it, and I don't like seeing
and
it
it
on
snatch
TV.
it all in, and then when you go
Yo,
home, it just
I did that
falls
one time,
out.
Lynette. I put on this little Spanx number and I went to driving and I literally almost passed out. I didn't realize it was like cutting off my circulation. And I just remember thinking, like, I don't want to have to do things to make
Right.
allowances for, like, I want to just be able to put something on, you know?
Yeah.
What
And
about, go
Them
ahead.
things don't work. Them things don't work.
And then it would make you bulge where the end.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm trying to stop this part, and it's making it look worse.
Yeah,
I don't know what those look like because I never really had to wear those. So
I saw you, Lynette. You slim thick, so you don't have to worry about
I'm
that.
slim thick. Exactly.
I had it really hard because I was always skinty. Like I look like the letter P, as the people say. You know, I was so
back in the day.
small. But then I ended up taking some medication for a year. I committed to my family. I got to take this medication for a year. And after the year, I looked up and it said may cause weight loss or weight gain. I said, oh my God. And my body has never been the same ever since. I could never get big. And so then I was like, I can't have the habits I used to have. I can't eat pizza like I want. I used to eat Snickers, soda. I mean, I was terrible to my body because I just wouldn't put on weight. So now, I have to be a lot more careful. Let's look at what Jessica said. She said, when getting out of a toxic relationship, the vast majority of women will have a glow up. Yeah. Why is that? Why not do it while you're still there? I mean, I know the obvious answer people are going to give, but what is the reason? Is it to spite?
What's the motivation when you're in toxic? Nothing. Nothing motivates you when you're in toxicity.
I think
so. And you don't want to be there. You actually are depressed. You're down on yourself. You're probably even questioning yourself why that you are even dealing with what you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. So that's typically the reason why. And then once that relationship's in or you get out of it,
you find yourself.
It's like a refreshing of the mind. It's like a reset, and you say, "I need to get myself back together."
Yeah.
Right. Because I mean, when you with somebody, you have to have a positive motivation. Like you can't be like, "You fat. You need to get in the gym. You need to do this." There's a loving way of letting somebody know. Look, can I help you? Can we take walks? Can we go rent a city bike on the street? Can we, walk around Central Park once or twice? I mean, Can we go get a low-fat energy drink, something? Mm-hmm. There's ways in which you can deal with your partner and express to them that we can do this together. Even if I don't have to lose weight, I can still go through that process with you, to help you through that. Maybe help me cook a healthy meal. Right. Besides cooking with butter, maybe you do olive oil. I mean, there's so many things you can do to help contribute to your partner being in a better space as far as their weight is concerned.
And I think that we have to take the personalness out of it, even though it is you and it's your person that is expanding. We have to take ourselves out of it and just say, this is human nature. People want to be physically attracted. And even though they are committed to you, you still want to find them attractive. Right. And, you would hope yourself that your man would stay groomed. He wouldn't let his toenails grow all long and funky. Yes. Like, we want a man to take care of himself too. Nobody wants a guy who dresses like an old fuddy-duddy, and I think that a lot of times with women, they will get into a relationship. This is not a toxic situation, by the way, in this hypothetical. Mm-hmm. But they'll get into a relationship and get so comfortable or so focused on the kids that they become slovenly. And I major credit to my mom. My mom is a domestic goddess. She still is to this day. She's the type on her hands and knees scrubbing baseboards and changing AC filters. Like she did it all. But she would get up in the morning, be presentable for my dad to see him off to work. She'd cook for him, all that stuff. Then she'd go into mom mode, and it was funny. She had this little thing she would do. She'd put her hair up, and it was this little clip thing with the little pencil. And when that thing came out, we knew. You know, I don't think I ever saw my mom in a ponytail, but she'd really long hair. She'd wrap it up and put a little thing in there, and then she'd put on her sweats and her little sneakers with her little size 4 foot. And she'd go, come around 4 o'clock. Hair came down. She put her little 4-inch heels on. She put a little mascara, a little lip. He didn't like red lip, doesn't like red lip. I think they're not here. Does not like red lips. So she put a little light color, whatever, and then show up for my dad. And so I saw that growing up, and my dad makes such a big deal about physical appearance. So, you know, everyone knows what they're getting into. But I think that that's important because I think a lot of guys aren't going to say, babe, you've really been rocking those sweats. You know, I remember one time I was getting ready to go out, but I wasn't going to wear what I was wearing. And Monte ended up seeing me, and he's like, is that what you're wearing? And I said, oh no, I'm not wearing this out. He said, well, why do you have it on? I said, because I just want to look nice for you. In the meantime, you know, like, I don't think we should ever look better when we're away from our guy than we are with our guy. Like when we step out with him, yeah, you want to be slamming, but I don't think that we should always let them see us at our worst. But then we want to go out with the girls, or we're going out by ourselves shopping, and now suddenly we're getting done up. Because what that says is I care more about what other people think. And I think with a reason, like you're not walking around in a prom dress, but I don't want my guy to forget. And I remember my dad saying this. He said, I go to work every day seeing women in, I'm elaborating, but pencil skirts and heels, and they're doing makeup and hair. And then, you know, I'm coming home to one woman. And so my mom understood that and was like, let me give you something to look forward to. And they got married in 77. So do whatever that math is. They're 40 something years in. She will still put on her mascara for that man. She will still put on a lip for that man and put on her little heels. She's going to Walmart or something.
Okay, now.
All right now.
Shout out to her for my femininity. I saw it growing up. Anyone else have a burning topic that they want to talk about? Clemmy. I didn't see it coming. I thought I was signed out, y'all. I was 30. I felt like I was like 30 seconds from my escape.
I was about to go cook something too. I was like, okay, let me run the kitchen. Some vegetables and some fish, get a little salad going.
I'm sitting here eating pickles because I was just about to go eat.
We thought, y'all, we working for them.
Cam came back. Hey, Cam.
Whoa. Hey, what's up? Listen, I saw that last minute Clemmy thing, and I was like, oh, okay, I gotta cut back. I gotta.
Well,
oh my
God,
God,
go ahead, some first. Okay.
Yeah. Listen. Okay, so what did I miss? And then I wanted us to recap something that we.
Did you see the video, or did I have you in the waiting room?
It was a video about the lady gaining weight after she divorced her husband. She gained weight, and when she divorced, she lost all the weight and then met a new man.
How much did she gain?
Oh, you ready? Let me show you the image.
Okay.
Regrets it now, and I live a healthier life. She looks amazing. No surgery, no diet. 12 months, I did it.
I put the coffee name on my homepage. If you need to lose weight, you can try it.
So then when you go to the comments, the things people won't do for love, but will do out of spite. You should refund him for wasting his time.
Why not do it while married?
That's the thing. He didn't deserve you at your best because you never gave it to him.
That's a weird way to say I didn't care about myself while I was married. Comment section backfired.
Too fast to keep my husband, but look at me now. Gets remarried and gains it all back.
They won't change for the man they're with, but they'll change to replace him.
A bar.
The evil laugh.
Great.
Yeah, so that happened. So she lost it all. So we were using a hypothetical so we could at least all be agreeing on the same scenario because we were saying it could be a toxic relationship. So I said, what if it was a situation where he kept mentioning it, babe, like you've put on a lot of weight, like could you da-da-da? And she refused to go to the gym, but then now they broke up and now she is getting her hot mama on.
So it'd be two things. I try to be very direct when it comes to certain like immovable things. So when I married my ex-wife, when I married her, I gave her a number, and I said, if I ever see that number, you're probably not going to like me because I'm going to because to me at this point you're being disrespectful. And that number was a pretty what's the name number. Like she's blessed. She's a thick lady, and has a lot of accoutrements, yams and all that kind of stuff. So she.
The way you just said that.
I cannot with him.
I'm glad I could oblige. I'm trying. You're on YouTube, so I'm trying not to get you down. So I had a number. It was a very specific number for her based upon her thing, and I said like that's just kind of my expectation, and not mean or anything else like that. Because I think a lot of times if people don't have an expectation, then sometimes they'll do that, and then instead of taking accountability, they'll go and blame somebody else. So if all things being the same, I think people just get comfortable. I think most times I think that's what it is. I don't think it's and marriage can be hard anyways, but I think he just needed to be very particular about that. And sometimes there's some things that don't need to be said nicely. They just need to be said directly so that we both understand what's going on. And I didn't say it mean. It was just very direct, like, this is the weight. Don't let me see it on the scale. She may have even reached that number, but she hit it pretty well. But it's like, that's cool because to me at that point, it's like, I don't ask you for much. I need that not to be a thing because now at this point, I feel like that's not cool.
Okay, that's real. I'm trying to see where the likes are at, but it wants to take 20 years to refresh the page. Come through internet. She lost the weight after the divorce. Yes, that's messed up, kind of. But hey, Clemmy has a theory. She said maybe, and I'm adding this. I think that's what she's saying. She thinks that she did it to push her her coffee business. And so I said, well, maybe she lied maybe she made it more sensational to, make people be like, wow, and get the publicity that I gave her just now. You never know. The new man gets to enjoy it all. Exactly. He said, y'all better tip Auntie Yonci a dub. Look, no more tips. I ain't gonna be here till midnight. In theory.
So I had a question. So was that the only one that you guys discussed in the 10 minutes or 15 minutes I was gone?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I wanted to piggyback, if you don't mind me doing that.
Okay.
Do you mind? Okay. So
we have a question comment after that, but clearly we have time. So.
Okay. So y'all said that a man, there's a certain level or there's certain things that don't need to be discussed in front of y'all. There's a certain level of transparency. Yeah. A man basically needs to be opaque. Let some light through, but not everything, right? So yeah, it's a little opacity. There's something like that we have to do. So I guess the question I would have is what are those specific things, or is it just in general? And at what point, because like I said, if you get married, you're going to start seeing everything. Like he might have to go through surgeries and he never had to do that. And so therefore, that might be something because, a lot of dudes are scared of doctors or, like there's things that people that are actual legitimate fears that people have. So I guess the overall question is, what things in particular would you say that
is permissible?
Are permissible for a man to share? Or I think it'd be more of the things that you don't think you would want to hear from a man. That'd probably be a smaller list than.
I'm sorry to laugh at this,
yeah.
But like, while it's going down, I wouldn't want a guy to be like, I'm so scared for my life. Like that. Like I need you to like make me feel. I'm just saying. So why y'all? Sorry, this is so weird. So the way that the thumbnail froze with the picture, it looked like there was someone else in the waiting room. I literally was about to click like, oh, someone wants to join us, and it's literally just a still of the podcast guy with his mic. I'm over here like click. No, but so real talk. So Monte wanted me to install a security system, which I was like, I so don't need. But he was like, but I like this because if I travel, I can know you're safe and something happens, whatever. I'm like, okay. So we're hanging out. And one time the alarm just goes off. It ends up being a total fluke. It was like one of the sensors went weird. But the quickness with which he jumped into gear, like he went from being completely relaxed to just high alert, we'll just say got whatever he needed to take with him. And, you know, I felt extremely safe. Even in that moment, if he was terrified, I probably would want him to tell his dad that. Like, Dad, I was so scared. I want to see him as like, that's my man. I get him, you know? Like, I guess there's some images, kind of like your dad. Like, you don't want to think of your dad being scared. You don't want, let me speak for myself. I don't want to think of him being scared. Now, when it comes to vulnerability, like going to a surgery, absolutely. Talk to me. Tell me that I'm scared. Oh my God, this is a big deal, because it is a big deal. Like, I'm okay with emotional vulnerability. What I can't handle, I realize is my tipping point, is when it is out of control.
Right.
So if he's upset, you're upset. But is he crying to the point he can't control himself? Does he get angry, but he's so angry he can't control himself? He's punching through walls. It's the being completely unbridled. That's what I found is the turnoff. I'm okay with them shedding a tear. Do I want him crying every day? Oh my God, these movies, like, that might be a bit much.
I know what I mean.
What's the difference? What's the difference?
At least he's vulnerable. I mean,
what's the difference in being afraid going into surgery versus being afraid, even though you got to jump up even you got to jump up when you think that something is going on? What's the difference?
I can't explain it. I think it's a feeling of my personal. I know you're scared, now my personal safety. Like if you had a bodyguard and you hired him to protect you, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's my first day on the job. I'm not quite sure to use this thing." You'd be like,
"What's the uniqueness that happens in fear that happens with the body? What's the uniqueness? What happens with your body when you are fearful?"
Oh, you go into protective mode. You go into battle
mode. Your body actually goes into its most defined protective mode when you are fearful.
Yeah.
So that's where all of the adrenaline comes from, because it's the fear. So the adrenaline shoots to you because it also gives you a higher level of strength as well.
Are you saying that as an advocate for the man verbalizing it?
Yes.
So that's the question.
Hold on, Cam. Even though it's something that you don't like, I think it's healthy to allow him to express that every now and again.
To me, or to somebody?
Yes, to you, because you are the one that's most important in his life.
I just don't see the benefit. I don't see how it benefits him telling me my knees were knocking when I went to the door.
So watch this. Now you see how we just laughed at that. You see how did we just laugh at that? You can laugh at it too, and he laughed at it too. But what it is that I know that I have the ability to tell the woman in my life any and everything.
Let me give you an example.
And then I have something up there.
A script.
Yeah.
This might be a shock to somebody. Hide your kids. If you don't want to know this, you might want to mute the thing right now. But women defecate and they have flatulence. Okay. I know I crushed some dreams. I know okay. Some men want to have the mindset of I know biologically it probably happens, but some men don't want to know. They don't want to walk in after it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to smell it. There are some men who are like that. They exist. There are probably men in the comments who are like that. Some men don't want to see this beautiful creature in front of them, be intimate with her, and also see her as that. Some men. It's not that it's not a safe space around him or she can't be herself. He just wants to protect a certain image in his mind. That is the most equivalent I can think of to a woman wanting some level of admiration. Most men want to be admired from their woman. So I think that they wouldn't want her to know certain, not insecurities, but like certain things.
Weaknesses or what
it's not an insecurity, and it's definitely not a weakness.
But the thing, to each his own, because like I said, there's people for everybody. I guess
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand the aspect of not like the safety thing. I kind of understand what you mean. Like that's like, oh, I'm scared for my life. That was hilarious.
You
That was
jump on the
hilarious.
chair when there's a mouse, like,
Yeah, that's hilarious. But no, I guess the other question would be that there are times that I've even seen it expressed where, even when it comes to mental health, and this is always a weird thing, where it's like when it comes to mental health, like there might be traumas, right? There's traumas that are associated with men, and the reason why sometimes we don't have great conflict resolution skills could be because, let's say, everything's great in my life, but when somebody brings up my mom, it's like, or like when I start talking about things deeper and deeper, like people literally get into places where that happens. So I'm just trying to understand, like, for a lot of women, not just you. I know the safety thing, I understand that, but as far as like when it comes to like some of those aspects and areas, is there a time when that is okay?
that's
Or
always okay for me.
no, but I'm saying is that at a certain point in relationship, because for instance, if you're like, of course, in the first 10 dates and I'm over here talking to you about how I was molested or something like that would be crazy. But as far as like,
not for
if
me.
but I'm saying, but for men or whatever, like,
Because I
or
think
what for,
women we bond over that really deep, connection. So
well, no, what I'm saying, but a guy might not feel comfortable or whatever the
Right,
case
right,
may
right.
be. What I'm saying is there are certain points, because I know women will come out to me and tell me their whole life story, and I'm like, didn't need to know all that, just trying to help you with rent or whatever the case. But at the same time, I'm okay with that because I understand where we come from. But I'm saying, is there, and I guess that would be for like Sarmanda and Lynette too, is there certain points in certain checkpoints where you feel like a man could be emotionally vulnerable in certain contexts, especially when it comes to like mental health and trauma, since we grow up around that.
So I will speak for myself.
Yeah.
I actually admire that because I feel like that takes strength to be vulnerable in that way. And so if a guy said, I went through a dark time, or I was considering, unaliving myself, or I went through this and it was really hard, I've personally never felt any differently. It hasn't made me take away any admiration from him or lose the mystique. He's just a human. For me, it's just strictly the physical. What I would, because I'm questioning, like, no, there's a scenario coming in my head. I have a hard time admiring a weak, mentally weak man. What I mean by weak mentally man is a guy who feels that everyone's against him. There's excuses for everything. Like for every guy who says I can't, there's a guy who can. He will figure it out. I'll tell you a story about this one guy. He went to go work. We'll just say someone I know. Someone I know was looking to hire people. He was doing interviews, and one guy came in and he made a great impression, but the man stank. And he was just like so thrown by that. And he seemed a bit sweaty. It was just very bizarre because this was an environment where people were in suits and stuff like that. Come to find out, and if you know cities, like look it up on a map, he rode a bike from Long Beach to Torrance, California.
Yeah. Oh, snaps.
Because he didn't have transportation. And he was like, I'm getting to this destination. Yeah, this interview. And that blew the guy away. Like, you're getting the job. Like, we can work on the shower part, getting you a car, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't handle a weak-minded guy because it goes back again to safety. I don't like my boss, so I'm going to quit my job because I don't like working here. Like that type of thing. It's like, but we have bills still. Like you can't become a rapper at 45. I'm sorry. You could do it as a hobby, but like, we're not going to start off on an adventure at 50. Like I need stability. I need to know we're safe. So even though that's like an emotional thing, it still kind of ties back to security. Yeah. Or if he just gets so angry about things that he can't control himself. I think they all still kind of come around, but it's not about vulnerability, because I've had some extremely vulnerable conversations with Monte and other partners, and I admire them so much more because I'm like, it takes strength to not put on this persona. I just need to not think you're scared if someone starts shooting.
Wait.
So wait.
Sorry, man.
Okay, so I'm a go back to that story I was telling y'all about earlier, because he had a legitimate reason to be have anxiety. He had some issues growing up, and I was trying to be understanding, but the issue was that I couldn't be myself because I felt like everything that I say, I like banter. I like being sarcastic, saying
Right.
things, but he always took it as I was being mean or being offensive and stuff like that. And he'll cry or he'll shut down. That was too much. I couldn't. He needed a therapist. I couldn't handle it. You know, he had the pills. He forget to take the pills. It was just too much, and I couldn't deal with it. But I felt bad for him. But at the same time, you have to know how much to tell someone, and how vulnerable you would be. But if you have like a mental illness or anything, I do feel like
Debilitating.
you need to get treatment. I'll date you if you're getting the proper treatment. But it was just it was really draining dealing with someone who had anxiety and you couldn't be yourself with. So I hope that's just my
I think that's Lynette. If you can give me a couple examples of some things you want not to know, possibly.
What? Not to know about who?
About so if you're dealing with you're dealing with your partner. This is not quite into the phase of you like having a meal ready for him at 3 a.m. and stuff like that. Like so you're in the first couple of in the first, let's say 10 dates. Let's say you're not quite into the place where we know we go together, right?
Yes, hemorrhoids. He can keep that to himself.
Yeah, he can keep that to himself. So what would you say are some things, and at what checkpoints can he reveal more things to you? If it is like, hey, you can't tell me all this right now, but maybe later if we get into relationship.
It's funny because I just started talking to this guy. I think I'm gonna let Yonci know about that a little later with other stuff we do. But he told me his whole life story, and we didn't even go on a date yet. And then we like 3-4 days in. And he was open 4 hours. He told me everything. And I'm just listening on the phone. I'm listening on the phone and I'm like, and I'm quiet because I'm not one of those people that if you don't ask me, I'm not going to tell you. Like I told y'all before, the one thing about sometimes with women, we talk a lot. And I'm scared of somebody using what I say to you is always thrown back in your face. And I think a lot of men go through that too. You tell women certain stuff, she throws it back in your face. So I've never had a problem with people talking to me openly. I'm the one that's usually quiet, listening. So
But would that be a mark against him? Like maybe some of the stuff that he shared?
no, because it was experience that he's been through as a Black man.
Oh,
with his family, with children and things like that. So that shouldn't be a strike against him for him expressing himself to me about the things he's going through in his life. I don't think anybody should hold that against a person.
But not should have. I'm just saying it's personally for you because, like I said, like Yonci said, like there's safety elements that for her are very important. That like those are her non-negotiables. Are there any non-negotiables for you? And if they're non-negotiables, are they like something he could reveal later on if you guys have like a deeper conversation? So like for her, she's like, safety. I don't want to see you in the moment out here saying like, please help me. I can't stop crying. You know?
See, I don't think it's nothing wrong with a man expressing his stuff. Like, see, for me, if you can sit there and actually bear your all to me and I can do it to you, I think that's the most sexiest, most thing. I don't know. I like that.
If a mouse came running in,
that's different. He jumping on the couch. That's different. But I'm just
here like that. You gonna be okay with that? Like
I'm just saying. Like I mean, I like when a guy talks to me about his fears, his likes, his dislikes, what makes him mad, what makes him sad, his children, his mother. Like I like things like that. So. But if
I have an example after you're done.
I mean, the acting like I don't want to use the word.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like I that's a different story.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't be around men who act like that. I'm always around guys that's like Willie. They so upfront and blunt. I don't be around men who seem like they're, that they're so so tightwad and weak or jumping on the couch because a mouse run across the floor.
Okay, so I'm gonna have an example. Lynette, I'm giving this to you and I'm giving it to Sarmanda, all the girls on the panel, right? For the women on the panel. So dude, straight up and down, male, high testosterone level. He got the little pudge like y'all like it. Everything's cool, right? Everything's popping. So listen, he fights niggas. He does all kinds. Sorry, oh, forgive me. I'm on YouTube. So he does all the stuff, right? And smart. He has everything going for him. But when he talks to his baby's mom, he like literally becomes the most submissive person ever.
He gotta go.
Right?
All right.
No. Listen, no. Wait. But listen, but you know, you talk to him for a couple hours prior to, and you realize that she put him through the ringer, especially when it came to his kids. And he explains to you why it is. It's like she has so much control and power because of the kids that like sometimes I get scared when she talks to me.
So he turned into a little.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But only in the presence of her, not in the presence, like you said.
That's
He be
even worse.
knocking people. He be knocking.
No.
So
he's
wait,
not in her
the
presence all the
same
time.
guy that would defend you, but when he come across his baby mama, he turns into a
No,
little female
because
dog.
yeah,
I
'cause
said
this-
female dog.
Triggered.
Oh wow.
That's a woman having power over my man.
Just listen. Just one. He fights. Listen, he'll just the one because
He only had sex with one girl. He only cheated with one girl. One is enough. He only was in one hoochie coochie. That's enough.
It's no, because my concern is, what if she start using that child over him and
well, that's what she did. But let's say that's what she did. So let me paint it clear. So they were cool. Everything was happening. I told you, he's like he used to be Golden Gloves. He was the top. Like he is that dude. But she put him through so much, and he loves his son or a daughter, or like let's say he has 2 or 3 kids. And there were times that she put him in jail behind them. He has a clean record. She put him in jail. Like she did all this kind of stuff. So when he talks to her, instead of having that vibrato, he's kind of like,
I get it. I get what he's saying. Basically,
yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Very nice to her.
No. He's almost triggered.
Like on the plantation. Like yes,
almost like
He's
like
yes, a massa. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. Now go eat my cornbread now.
Yeah, exactly. That whole thing.
What he needs to do is go to court, get your visitation rights, put yourself on child support.
He did that. He sang in court. He was singing in court. He's like, I'm sorry for all the wrong I did. He did everything. Yeah. Listen, he did all of that. Sarmanda, like he did that.
Willie got coming on this one because Willie be like, I ain't gonna do that.
I feel like that's going to impact the relationship. I'm sorry.
Oh, you would just
someone asked me advice like that, and I said, I cannot deal with someone who does not have healthy boundaries with their partner. If you cannot have a normal conversation where it's quick, fast, this is what it is. If there's shucking and jiving, to me, that is a situation I want to be 1,000 miles from.
You wouldn't help him build boundaries, Yonci? You coach. You ain't gonna help.
I would have about 2 times and see, because I have been in situations where the person took my advice. If I saw them adhering to my advice and sticking to it, then we wouldn't have a problem. But if he was like, yeah, but I gotta do this because no.
Yeah, okay, Yonci, this is for you. Okay, since you brought it up 2 times, right? So look, okay, so he goes like this. So he's going there, mind you, he's cold. He's cold in every way. But then this is a situation, he explains it to you, boom, 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 boom. So you said, listen, this is what I feel like you should do because I'm Yonci, I'm giving good advice. And then he's about to go talk to his baby's mom because he's about to go to court. And so his knees start knocking a little bit and he looks back at you and for strength. He looks back to you for strength.
These camp scenarios, we're gonna call them camerarios. They are camerarios.
Listen, so he looks to you for strength, and then you're like, you put the little thumb up, you're like, and then he straightens up, right? He straightens up, and he goes into court, and he's like, Judge. He even gets a stutter out of his voice. He's like, Judge, I want to see my kids. And he does that. So at that point, would you just have more respect for him because he was overcoming his fears and he was listening to you? He looked back at you for strength, but would you still give him grace?
Yeah.
Dang, Yonci.
Put one of your sound effects
question, Cam. I don't know.
Well, absolutely not.
This access has been denied. That's what I would tell you. It's kind of like you can't unsee something. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't know. And it's the same thing with your daddy. Like there's just certain things you need as a woman to see and not see. It's kind of, I guess it would be the equivalent of like a woman not being nurturing. If they saw her go off on some little kid and making a kid cry, like, dang, you got that in you. Like you just can't unsee certain things. So for me, all of the men in my family are so masculine, like it borders on like,
yeah,
we won't even go there. Like there is nobody. These people are like, I will die for you. Like my brother doesn't play about me, and I'm just his little sister. Like my dad is like, don't even put me in certain situations because your father will. Well, he's like, I'm not going to die. I'll just be in jail. That person can be dead, and I'll be in jail. Like they are. It's black and white.
And that's the thing. And I feel you, Yonci. But listen, he could turn your dad, your brother, all them together into juice. This is his only problem.
If he cries okay, so he gets on the phone with her. And he's trying to he talking regular. He not doing the master stuff. And then afterwards, he start crying about the fact that she tripping and he get real upset and crying. I can deal with that. But if he on the phone with her, letting her have her way, talking for hours, and yes, ma'am, yes, yeah, no.
But can you do him looking back to you for strength when he's in court like he did Yonci, like?
Okay, he looking back for me for strength.
Because he about to go.
Allow her in the courtroom. That's not how it goes. They wouldn't allow her nowhere near. She would have to sit outside. Outside?
No. I've been to court. No, I've been to court. Listen, family court. I can walk up where she's at, and then I'm looking back to you, Lynette, in court. My knees are knocking a little bit, but I'm looking back to you.
Because you cannot be in the room.
Oh no, where we're at.
Family court, you can. They have like you're forced to sit. It's awkward because you're sitting there with people who are like crying about each other. She lied. Well, he cheated with my.
Yeah. Family court, you can.
So he's crying when he turned back.
No. He's looking.
Oh, I'm done. Amanda was like, "Is he crying?"
No, listen.
I am still a little traumatized by that guy. Crying.
Listen. No, sorry, man. Listen to me. Listen, I'm trying.
I'm done.
Listen, I'm just gonna say this last.
Family court.
So he's there, right? And he's about to prepare for court. So he's got his court documents. You see his hands a little shaky. He looks back to you because you're his woman, right? He's like, you're beautiful, you're inspirational, you're all the stuff that Kevin Samuel says you are, right? And then whatever he says is this great woman.
He just looked back, no tears, no water.
But you see he's kind of shaken up because he's like, okay, I'm doing something I'm not comfortable with. He looks at you, and then he straightens up a little bit. He doesn't get like totally, but he's like, I'm gonna push through this.
Okay, that's fine, long as he's not crying.
Yonci's like, nah, he is done.
My dad,
now Jacob still
I never saw my dad cry. I didn't see my dad do any of that stuff. So I'm sorry. I can't. No.
Dang, y'all a cold piece. That's crazy. I'm just messing with y'all. That's what.
That's Cam. That's Cam burning through it. That's Cam.
Oh
my God. Be wasting Clemmy money.
Oh my God.
Jacob, you know what? Come on the panel.
Come on, right? Come on.
She said, y'all.
Jacob, my bad. Jacob. I was trying to.
When you see certain things growing up, it is hard to get out of that
I got you.
mindset. And like, even with, I don't think that he'll care with me saying this, but the way my family is, and most of the guys, it's all extremely traditional. Like the man goes out and provides, or at least that's my dad, goes out and provides, And having conversation with Monte, he was talking about, I think it'd be so cool to have a couple build a legacy, like together, you guys are like grinding and doing whatever. And the first thought I had was like, ew, because that's not what I saw. But I was able to think about it, and I was thinking, there is actually a cool feeling when you are contributing as a woman. And I have been in that situation, and situations where I felt that the power structure was a borderline abusive. And so I ended up switching. But that aside, it's very hard for me to move away from what I saw.
What you saw, yeah.
I'm 44. My brother will smack my hand if I try to reach for my wallet if we go out. He still opens the car door, and I raised my son to be the same way. He opens my daughter's door, and I had to tell her, just so you know, this isn't normal. Like, most brothers are not opening their little sister's door. But that's just tradition that we have passed on. So, like I said, the men in my family are very stoic, to where it was even hard for me to take a guy seriously who was really goofy. Like, it's one thing to have a sense of humor. They like to crack jokes, whatever. But like a goofy guy, I couldn't take him seriously. Like, I'm trying to think like slapstick goofy. You know what I mean? Like, not knowing when to be serious.
Like self-deprecating type situations.
Yeah. Like stuff you'd see on like YouTube skits. Like, there's a level of stoicism that it's attracted to me because I saw that. Same thing with hair. Like, I've never been attracted to guys with long hair. And I think it's because all the men in my family, super clean cut. Either they shave it all off or it's like neat and clean, tapered on the side. And so, you know, like I've seen people who are like, oh, they look nice, but I wouldn't seek out someone with long hair. It's like, I think you're used to what you see growing up. I mean, that's my opinion.
I got you. And listen, so what I've learned today is just don't look to y'all for strength if I'm at wits with my baby's mom.
You could look nice.
I'm just
See, this is what I'm talking about you with your scenarios. You went
I'm just
you went from him crying to now he just looking back. That's two different things.
To him looking for strength from his woman.
You started with crying.
No, he was. Listen, he cried to you initially, and that's what was happening. And then you talked, and then Yonci was putting his hand on his knee, and she was like, "It's gonna be okay, baby. You just got to do it this way." And then she had to tell him that more than once, so it's terrible.
So you want to be so masculine.
Someone was asking if my brother was single. This is how it started, and this is how it's going. He is married.
Okay.
Yeah. He's 36 years into the marriage, so
yeah. But no, back to Cam, because I had to think about it. You actually started this conversation talking about he was crying.
Yes, he was.
He was being submissive to the baby mama.
Yes, he was.
Being in court, turning around asking for support. Like, which one?
No. Listen. Okay, so here I'm gonna give you a clear, succinct timeline. So basically, you were dealing with him, Golden Gloves boxing. He'd be working out. You guys playing with each other. It's this whole great thing, right? Like some notebook type stuff without all the sad stuff, right? Everything is great. It's good. It's beautiful. So then one time you hear him because, you know, he said he has his kids. You see he's great with his kids. It's like daddy's little girls when Idris Elba was back there. Everything's dope, right? Then you see him talk to the baby's mom, which you've never heard him interact with her, but you've seen him talk with her, and then it was, you know, there was a disagreement that happened, but you notice that his whole demeanor changed, and he was very like docile and submissive, totally different than he usually is. So then after that, he comes to you and he's sad, he's upset because let's say the baby's mom did something and made him like really upset and angry, and this nigga's crying. So he saw him docile, now he's crying, and he comes to you because you're his pillows, like to talk to and to the crying, right? And he says, I just can't do it. So then after that, he just releases all his tears into you, and then you're like, dang, what do I do here? Because that was some whole stuff, right? In your brain, what do I do now? Because he has to go to court because he's trying to like fix and remedy the situation, but he low-key scared of her because she put him through the ringer before. So then that's when he goes to court.
I'm gonna let you know, Cam changed this scenario. You know,
I didn't. That was all I said.
You added extra things on there.
You didn't.
No, I was just trying to clarify what I was talking about.
No, you clarified because now you made it seem now is he was on the phone with her, and you know, they got into an argument, and that's why he started being docile.
No, she was talking crazy to him, and he got docile, and he was crying to you.
Okay. So he won't. So see. Listen, you need to get your story together.
Linda.
He basically saying he's going through it with the baby mother, so he's just nice to her. That's what it boils down to. She's
That
being
is
nice. I don't see him as being soft. I just see him as not, and
yeah.
he don't want to go back and forth with her. So that is why he's talking to her nicely.
So no. But I'm saying he low key scared because he got Pavlovian response because guess what? She done been mean to him before, like a bully, right? Like you have to catch the courage to go and fight the bully. So that's why I said when they go to court, like
Him
he's
either
kind of
out.
shaking.
Still has power over him. I
He has
didn't
a lot of
realize
power.
until the situation was reversed for me how unattractive it was that I was so. I'm trying to be careful. I had such strong feelings around my ex.
Yeah.
And I was tiptoeing, and I realized this person is still in my life now, in my head. And if they are
Yeah.
evoking such strong reactions, that's a problem. And I didn't realize that. I was just looking at it like, well, can't you see why I would have this reaction? But now I realize when you're in a different space emotionally, they can kick and scream and do whatever. And it's almost
But
like
don't bother you. Yeah.
yeah. So I hate to say this, but
3, 2, 1.
we have 4 minutes left, y'all.
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
She's okay. Clemmy gave us grace. She said it's okay.
Yonci,
I
have a
feel like
question.
Oh yeah.
there was a question, and I'm tough with this. Is difficult because when people submit questions, a lot of times it's like a kind of like a leading question, or it presumes a lot of stuff, or it'll be like, what is the word? It's almost like a statement rather than a question, and I don't know if there's an answer to it, but I want to honor the question. I hope you don't take offense to this, but I don't know if there's going to be a satisfactory answer, so I will honor her. There was a question that I was referring to, but I just forgot Clemmy had one too, so I'm going to show Clemmy's question. Of course, we only have 3 minutes to answer this, but I don't necessarily know if there's going to be a satisfying answer. She said, why do some men pour so much into crazy women and treat good women like trash? I'm going to let you guys answer. We'll stop at 9:59 my time, whatever your time is, but 59, so that we have a minute for me to say goodnight. But feel free, y'all. Oh, now it's 1 minute.
I think I think Cam should answer that. Where's Willie? Oh, Willie is on standby.
Oh, he's on. So there's a scenario, Cam.
Yeah. So I would say you sometimes feel like, I've heard a man say this before and I disagreed with it, is that a man dictates not only the pace, but how everything works in a relationship. And so sometimes you feel like as a fixer, because men like fixing things and they like being solution driven and oriented, that they will put more effort and energy into a situation because they feel like they can do anything, right? So that's the crazy woman portion, or maybe a woman who's kind of low key trash is like, I can make this work. I just have to give her more discipline. Now, treating a good woman trash, I can imagine you not appreciating a woman. If I'm a decent man, I should treat everybody decently. But I've seen women and men do this, where it's basically you become too common, so you start taking for granted that person. So I don't think it's a crazy woman versus a good woman. I don't think a decent man will treat one woman super good versus the other woman. I think one time is that if she's not giving me problems, he might kind of take her for granted. And the crazy woman, if he really likes her, he might be putting more effort and energy into her just because he's like, I feel like I should be able to fix this problem.
I thought that Willie had tapped out. Willie has not tapped out. Willie has put more money on my books.
Not more money on your books.
Tell Willie, Yonci is the one who at her time is 10, our time is 11 in the East Coast.
Yeah, it is 11 o'clock here in Atlanta. So yeah.
Look, okay, so I'm thinking
Willie coming back on or something. That's why he's doing all that. He about to settle in.
He said he has 30 more minutes on his drive.
So two things, right? One, I didn't know I was backstage until just now. But I'm cool. So, I had a lot going on.
Because it just showed an X on your name.
It's all good. I had a lot going on trying to get my flight handled.
He said, "Don't waste Willie's time." Dang, they said, "Be good with your time," and you just bought. Okay, but go ahead.
So two things. One, y'all talking about men and being vulnerable. What I think everybody just proves is it's not safe for men to be vulnerable with women, because women only want men to be vulnerable within parameters. They just can't blanket out, just outright be vulnerable the way they feel best. So when men tell other men, don't be vulnerable with your woman or anyone who is not who can be incentivized to use that against you internally or externally. And unfortunately, ladies, you guys have proven that to be the case. So there's that part. And then as far as dealing with crazy women, to be honest, I hate when women say good women because the good is subjective.
Right.
Every woman swears they're good. And what I wish more women would understand is that your value that you place on yourself, the good that you think you are, means shit. Means nothing to the man that you're with. Like it's up to what he thinks you are. So you can think you're the finest thing since sliced bread. Like we let women particularly get away with saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm so fine. Oh, I'm so smart," because they tell themselves and they feel that way. But then men don't feel that way, and when those two things come into conflict, it's, oh well, those men are shallow, those men are hating, or those men are just being mean. If a man pours into a woman, it's not because he's crazy, it's because he has time with that person. And the same reason why men keep drawers from high school, hoodies from high school, because they still work. Why men like old school cars that we put a bunch of time and money into, even though they keep cutting off and leaving us stranded because we put time and money into those things. It has nothing to do about what you are or how you are as a person. It's literally just we protect our investment. Like that's why men stay in relationships just as long, if not longer, than women do when they're unhappy. Because we don't want to waste our time. Like we know that when we leave, we're taking an L on all that time we put in. That 6-7 years we had that were good, and now we had 3 bad years, so we want to you want to leave. We try to protect that. So to think that men are just doing shit to crazy women is unfortunately untrue. But I don't want to say that it's a dumb thing to think. I just think that it's a very, very, very first person. There's no thinking about it from the other side when women say that, because what's crazy to her is good to us. I mean, she might be great in bed. That makes the crazy worth it. The same way y'all will deal with somebody who's a little less attractive if they have money.
Willie,
What?
you have boys, you have sons.
Yes, a
If
bunch of them.
your son was in an altercation and he thought this dude was going to knock him out and he was terrified, but he ended up winning the fight, and he confides in you, was like, Dad, I was so scared. He was so much bigger than me, blah, blah, blah. Man, I can't wait to go home and tell my girl how afraid I was. Do you think he should? Not based on her reaction. Do you just think that that's a good thing?
No. No,
So why
no,
is
I
it?
wouldn't. That's my thing. I tell men never to show weakness to their woman ever, because it sounds good. Women swear, "Oh, it's so sexy when you're vulnerable with me," and tell me how like that
No,
time
no,
of
no. That's
aftertaste
why I
good
said
when you like it.
not based on her reaction. I'm saying if you knew for a fact she would be okay with it, like you had a crystal ball, you saw the conversation, it went well. She was like, "Oh, baby, that's fine." I'm saying, are you comfortable as a man, a father of boys? Would you be comfortable with your son going home and crying about how scared he was?
Oh, okay. So you gave me the crutch for me, or I guess the decision point was I know that she's okay with it, and it
Right.
won't change how she looks at him.
Right.
So yes, I want you to be transparent about your feelings when you can, when it's not going to be used against you. So at this point, she's as safe as his therapist is, because you just said that she's not going to feel away. She's not going to look at him different. She's not going to put him in a group chat, be like, "Girl, my scary ass boyfriend almost got beat up today, but he won the fight, but then he came home telling me about how scared he was." None of those things are going to happen. So of course, I want my son to be honest with his woman.
Okay, so let me
100%.
throw you a cam. Okay. Being vulnerable and being honest. What if she came home to him and she said, "Babe, I love you. I have no plans to cheat on you. That's not even a thing. But my God, the assistant that they just hired, his body is chiseled. He got that muscle that I like. Oh my God, his physique is insane. His teeth are like next level. You know, I like teeth. Would you want her being very, very vulnerable and being transparent to him?"
That's not being vulnerable. That's being disrespectful. Because
Yeah.
I tell you how. That's
Tag
super
team me after you're done with
disrespectful.
that. I'll tell you.
Because the same way as if I walked in, I was like, I would tell my son to, even with that woman who is not going to use something like that against him, like, hey, don't go in there and tell him about that new girl you hired with the fat ass, the new titties, and all that. So I'm never gonna tell him to go tell, because there's certain things you don't say out of couth, tact, and respect for your partner.
Yep.
We're not talking. That's not what we've been talking about. We're talking about expressing our like feelings and being vulnerable. You telling a man that you found another man attractive isn't vulnerable. It's disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
But it's her thoughts. Those are her feelings.
No, we're not. So that's the thing. That the goalpost is like the touchdown line is being vulnerable. You're out of bounds with the, you're saying, expressing your thoughts. Because if that's the case, then I would also tell my son not to go tell his girlfriend that, damn, I just saw her friends and she's not the finest one. I hit her friends too. Like, I wouldn't want him to tell her that, even though I know that almost all men think it. Like, I would still like, that's the difference. We're talking
So you're
about being
saying it
vulnerable
only
with
has
your
to.
feelings.
It only matters if it's disrespectful or not.
Well, no.
Only censor yourself if it comes to
The
disrespect.
purpose.
No.
It has to do with
Would
purpose.
come with your feeling, your emotions, and how you feel about something. Being attracted to someone that's fine is not the same as me talking to someone about my difficulties dealing with my son's mother, and then being appreciated and coming to her and telling her about how stressful it is. Those two things are like apples and to not apples. That's not the same.
So for the record, we were not saying we have a problem with a guy saying how stressful it was dealing with a baby mama. Sorry, man, I just realized you're about. We were not saying that. We were saying we have a problem if the woman is running the show and causing him to chuck and jive like a little minstrel on a stage.
Oh,
so that's a big.
That's
I
what
understand
story
that too,
was.
but now, how do you think that we feel about y'all having bosses and having them do the same thing at work? You're nice, kind, polite when you go to work, but then when you come home, we get the leftovers. We get the rest of you. We get the attitude from you being stressed out at work, or when your boss tells you to jump, or your boss tells you to come into work at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're like, okay, cool, but when I ask you to make me a sandwich, it's a problem. So like
sandwich day,
leave that
those
We
parallels are the
gonna
same.
laugh.
Wait,
Because
those
that's not
parallels.
what Ken said. That wasn't Ken's scenario.
The parallel is the same
Sandwich
because
day.
your boss provides you a salary, your husband provides you balance, a home, protection, and provision. So again, it's the exact same thing. You don't want like his baby mama having power over him, but look at how many men have power over you at work.
Okay, so I don't think that is the same thing. One is you could say a policeman has power over you. One is a professional environment, and another one is utilizing what used to be a romantic relationship to their advantage. To me, that is a big, big leap. And the other thing, when you said your boss asking you to do something versus your man asking you to make a 3 a.m. sandwich, I will say, if my boss asked me to do something ludicrous, like I want you to put tabs, Post-its on every third paper just because I can and you're on the clock, I wouldn't be working there very long. I would be immediately looking for new employment, because somebody being disrespectful of my time is ridiculous. And I have done that. I can tell when someone is abusing. I had a boss I was his executive assistant. An executive assistant is not a personal assistant. An executive assistant books your meetings, books your flights, books your travel, takes care of your, if you have people coming in, will seat you in the conference room, will take care of meetings, whatever. He was starting to ask me to mail packages for his daughter's Girl Scout cookies. You have crossed the line. I am not your personal assistant. And I'm all about respect. So I will shower you with, I will give, but you have to show me that you respect me. I ain't nobody's slave and I ain't nobody's fool. So
100%.
there is a boundary for me.
I get that. But so the difference is, you said that, it's the job. So it's not a romantic relationship she's using over him. She's leveraging a child the same way that your boss leverages your paycheck.
Yeah, and in some cases, and I can, if I can tap in on that, is that I think when we're sharing things, when we're being vulnerable, there has to be a purpose in it. Like I said, me sharing that it's like, I love what's her name's proportion and ratios when it comes to like her thickness, is I don't think that's necessarily going to add to the intimacy that I have with my wife or my significant other. Expressing.
I said, I apologize. I was being divisive.
Oh no, you're good. No, this is great. No, but like I said, I think, like I said, the vulnerability, I guess the reason why I even asked that question is that you guys express safety. I kind of understand safety, but there are times when I've actually been in interactions with someone, and I asked a girl one time, and she was younger. I said, if I come into a place and a guy tried you, and we're in the midst of like a bar or something like that, and he tried you, what would you want me to do in that scenario? And she was really like basically talking like you wanted me to fight. I'm like, do you understand how much stuff I have to lose?
Whoa.
No, I'm saying, but these are real things where it's like women sometimes like, oh, I want you to protect my honor, I want
Yeah,
you to
they
do
don't,
stuff
but
like
they're
that.
not thinking it through.
Yeah.
No, and this is what I'm saying, but I'm
Hate when
saying,
women put men in those situations. I've seen
but
it.
what I'm saying is that there are a lot of situations that are less that are still. So, give an example. I'm at a job and this guy's treating me crazy, but this is the only job that I have. Let's say if I'm in that situation, and so now my wife saw me being treated like this at my job, but at the same time I got to pay the bills at home. So there's situations that are less intense, but then now you're looking crazy at me because I let this dude do that, not thinking about the whole scenario and situation, and men being able to be vulnerable about that. I would hope the explanation would be good enough for them to understand that, but a lot of times there are these weird situations where because you've been trained in a particular way, you see that man as less than or more than based upon something that like I'm trying to protect my life because I have things to lose. You're looking at me like I'm some simp when, like I said, like even in the situation when you came with the guy, like even though we're joking, like he can like turn anybody into juice, but then in this particular thing, he was so traumatized. He's not scared of her per se. It's the trauma that she represents. And so we have points of trauma. And so I was just wondering, like, in what points is it okay in general would you guys say as a mature woman, because I'm not talking about young girls, to be able to like a man to be able to be vulnerable to you? Because if you're going to have a marriage or relationship, it's going to be, there are going to be things that you see about him that you didn't want to see, but because people get older,
Yeah.
so that's how I was wondering. So
I mean, like I said, I have had every guy that I've talked to, I think would say that I've created a safe space for them that they feel comfortable sharing. And I feel like my situation that I'm describing is extreme. Like I want a guy who knows how to shoot a gun, who knows how to punch, who knows how to.
Oh yeah, I mean we got the safety. That's why I said I understand that, but those things.
The other stuff I would be okay with. I mean, there was a real scenario where the guy was being referred to as a name that you could look at it and be like, is this person crossing the line racially, or is this just a term? And so I get being in certain situations where this is your living and this is your job and you need to. And I actually looked at it like I respect the fact that you can hold your peace and not clock this guy in the face. Because like I said, for me, if someone disrespects me, I'll be like, let me get another job. But maybe for that person, it's not that easy to get another job. So I wouldn't look at him differently if he stayed at a place that, they weren't being the most respectful. But I also wouldn't be mad if he tried to find somewhere else, because I don't think anybody should put up with like low-key emotional abuse.
What about those times when you're out with a guy or a guy is out and another guy disrespects him and then he chooses to leave instead of,
I prefer that.
Yeah. Or the guys, just, big, loud, big wolf, all flex muscles, talking cold cash stuff. And then he disrespects you and then your man still leaves. What I've seen happen a lot of times is women just think, oh, you punked my man. Whole time not knowing that your man is trained to identify when someone has a firearm, also to identify when he knows that there was 3 other guys with him. And and I will say this, most women don't even have the insight to think about those things. And I'm almost comfortable saying damn near all, but I will say most and stand on don't think about that, because all they feel is that he called me the B word, he was grabbing my
really, I will break up with the man if his default setting is fighting.
Right.
We too old for fight. I tell people, even if you're the most skilled fighter, you could hit him a certain way and he hits the concrete. Now what I'm gonna do? You're in jail.
Yeah, I don't want him to go to jail.
I've had a man reach on my behind and grab like the cup underneath. I had a man reach up and cut me while holding my husband's hand. And I purposely, we were walking out of a really tight nightclub. I purposely did not tell. I found out later I should have just never said anything ever. I told him once we left, because I knew that he would have blacked out. And sure enough, he ran back in, and of course, nobody wanted to fess up. But I realized later, like it wasn't enough to just wait till we got outside. I should have just kept that one, took it to the grave. Because for me, my concern is less about my honor and my man staying alive. I need the father of the kids to be living. So I look at it like Candy Burrs' ex kid's dad. He died from a fist fight. It was just a fluke thing. He hit the pavement. So for me, I don't want him to engage in stupid behavior. To me, that's a flex where you are not judging your own masculinity by your fists. If you could be like, babe, this is whack, this dude, I know that you're going to catch a case if it goes down. I know that guy will be unalived if it goes down. I know my man can do. I can see the work he can do. I don't need you to demonstrate it for me. Let's go home and stay alive and have some fun times as grown-ups. I don't need to be cleaning up. No. I don't need to be bailing you out of jail. No.
But if he gets forced into the situation where he gets forced to fight, he just
Don't
can't
cry.
say like,
Yeah,
just don't cry. Okay, gotcha.
Cry and cuddle his blanket.
Don't be screaming.
Don't hit my veneers. I just
Not a veneer.
I've seen men who are like that. Like I'm even to the point of like certain body gestures. Like I said, like if you do a lot of stuff, I will side eye so quickly. I just need a manly man. Like I can't do metro. It needs to be like, ugh. And I jokingly say, but I'm dead serious. I will take an ashy dude over like a perfectly what is the word? Like not refined.
Manicured.
Guy. Yeah. I can lotion you. I can do a check and make sure your legs are good before we go to the barbecue. Like it's not that serious. I don't need you putting gloss on your nails and arching your eyebrows because you're just cleaning them up. Like I need there to be a little DMX in your voice. Like
so part of the beer cannot be connected. He can be punching bricks and you be cool with them. That's crazy. He just can't cry.
Subject verb agreement.
Nobody see this is what men do. They really exaggerate situations.
All the time, Manda.
Y'all exaggerate. Talk about he can't cry.
I'm not exaggerating.
This scenario, Cam scenario, because then Willie up here talking about the man can't come to us about the woman. We talking about
he cannot. I would not tell. Listen, and this is not because
I better cry at my wedding. I better see you.
I am more familiar with. I would say that what I'm saying. I know Yonci in a way that most people like that's my friend. So I will give her the benefit of the doubt, and because at the same time, she's had conversation with me and made me feel comfortable, which is extremely hard to do for free. So
one of our first conversations, actually.
Exactly. So there's that. But just based on what you said tonight, I would tell any man who came across you, bro, don't do it. And it's not just because, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with it, but it's just because women are not wired to do that. Because at some point, you can become incentivized to use that against him. Either if it's internally as far as how you view him, or externally when y'all fall out and shit hit the fan and then secrets start getting kicked out. Or you wasn't saying that when your baby mama had you crying in court. You were all of that type of stuff.
I would never.
No, it's true. It's so true.
I heard it, but I'm saying I would. Me judging him would never trans.
I believe that 1 out of 10 1 out of 10 women, maybe one.
No, I don't disagree with you, really. It's in my course. I believe you and I've seen it. I'm just saying for me getting a little bit of an ick would never translate me to trying to emasculate him. It's me wanting to keep her happy, because if she shuts down and she stops seeing him a certain way, we all gonna be in a bad spot.
Right. So let me clear something up, because Cam's story was definitely different from what he ended up saying. Like, let's be very clear about that.
Thank you, man.
So I just want to be clear about that. But I've been in a situation. I've been in a situation where I was dating a guy for a long time, and he was having issues with his baby mama, and it really drugged the conversation. I was there for him when he was crying about the situation. I was there when he talked about it, but it became a situation where she'll call at any time and he pick up the phone because he's afraid.
No.
He afraid of He's afraid that she gonna put him on child support. She's afraid. So it just became a situation like that. He cried and stuff. So my point is, you can be vulnerable all you want. That's perfectly fine. But you got to set some boundaries.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
I need to know if you set boundaries. So I am empathetic because somebody
So
not
real
saying
quick,
I'm not
I just want you guys to understand.
Oh, see, that's God. He
Yo, chill.
he knew I'm God. Hang him up. He know I'm
Sorry, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Come on now. Look.
No, I'm just saying because
No, I got you. I got you.
A different situation because you described it as he was up here crying, and saying yes, a master to her.
Yes, he was.
But
that's Willie said, "Oh, you just can't talk at all about your."
That's the difference of being nice. Now, if he's being nice and he's talking soft to her because he knows she could flip out, that's one thing. But if
okay, but can I real quick? Let's do this because to me, there's not a lot of difference
at all.
Because ultimately, me saying yes, Amasa is me providing subservience so that I can have some grace.
Okay, let me make sure I understand what you just said.
Yeah.
You're saying there is nothing different than someone be like, "Oh man, this chick is stressing me out."
Right.
There's no difference between that and hold on, pause the movie because she's calling.
No.
The difference is how he's doing it.
No.
The end result and why.
Okay,
he's doing I will tell. To keep the peace, so that way he doesn't have to worry about that lady keeping his kid from him. So there's and it's very hard.
It's made out of the same source material. If it's if it's you can have two grades of steel. They're both steel, but one is like, no, you're really placating her. So the thing is, you should always be decent. You should always be a decent person.
The story is don't date men who have toxic baby moms.
No, but yeah.
Wait.
That's the moral of the story.
The moral of the story is don't date people who have toxic baby moms.
Steal your piece.
Because I guess my confusion is you're saying, oh, he's on this phone conversation. He's doing that, but I feel like if he's doing that, it's more to it. She's gonna keep trying.
It's
of course.
Negotiation. Yes.
So why would I want to be in a situation with a man?
No, you wouldn't.
You to let her push the boundaries and don't put no boundaries.
No, so that was the reason why I put everything else around it, which was
speak.
That's why I was put in the other situation around it was that he's great in everything else. His one kryptonite is he has been traumatized so much by this woman that he feels almost subservient in his interactions with her. And of course, he expresses that to her. So me saying whether I'm nice or not, for instance, I'm nice to everybody because I'm just Cameron. Mm-hmm. But as far as it can get to a point, where it's like he's not being nice anymore. He's being literally he's being a lapdog. Me being a lapdog in whatever degree you want to talk about, I'm being a lapdog, whether I'm saying yes, Amasa, or I'm saying yes, ma'am, please. He's being subservient for the purposes of he was traumatized. So it's the same thing.
It came with so much stuff.
So a lot of men have to do that.
Well, I don't know.
A lot of men have to do that.
I'm with you, Amanda. I'm good.
Yeah, a lot of men have to do that with their sons' mothers because the women weaponize the child. So that man is going to do whatever he needs to do to keep the peace. There's two things a man can do. He either be that and keep the peace, or he can pay for it. Most men can't afford to pay for peace. So they have to do whatever it takes because they are at that woman's mercy when it comes to how they respond to him. So if
or one more thing.
Or if he doesn't do that, she won't let him see the child. Or
having to accommodate another woman in my relationship is wild.
It's wild, yeah. I agree with Willing, and I agree with you.
That's what happens when you date men with children.
No, that's what happens with baby mama drama.
No, that's when you dated the wrong woman. Had a
that's
child.
hard.
But
there are plenty of people who have very functional relationships.
We can't really say dated the wrong woman because at some point in time, everybody has a failed relationship. So if you don't want a man penalizing you for the wrong man you dated and whatever trauma that man gave you,
there's a difference between a psychopath
taking what you want to hear. Because this is what I'm saying. If the situation is toxic, no, I don't want to deal with it. I've been through that. Because y'all making it seem like just a phone conversation. He great everywhere. If he's going through that, it's going to impact every part.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, we 100% agree. 100% agree.
Be bad, and I'm speaking from experience. The communication is going to be bad. I remember one time we were supposed to go on a date. The girl called about the daughter. Nothing was wrong with the daughter, and it took 20 years. We didn't even go on a date, so it started impacting the relationship. So that's what I'm talking
about. You're gonna be in a bad headspace now. The rest of
the so it's not just about the vulnerability; it's what it's saying. Like him speaking to her like that, being submissive to me, is going to come with certain other things that's going to impact the relationship.
If you didn't, but Sarmanda, if you didn't have that experience that you had very specifically, because you almost had something that paralleled what we were talking about, but if you didn't have that whatsoever, and you came into a man who's great and amazing and that kind of stuff, I was just seeing, are you going to dub him for being vulnerable about the situation? Or are you going to get no? You eventually listen.
You described
before
no.
I was there, like before.
But you gave it. But this thing, you gave it. But the point I'm making is that you gave it the opportunity to actually see what it was. There's sometimes, like I said, there's sometimes I've literally dealt with women who like will dub a dude off of something they didn't even understand the interaction. They didn't even understand what was going on. They just saw. I felt like you got punked, and you did this. Yeah. And it just turned me off. I'm not going to go deal with you. And I'm like, that's real life. That's some adult stuff.
Well, I have to get to know the person first and get to know the situation. So if originally it happens, because a lot of men do have custodial issues and child support issues, I'm perfectly fine. I'm paying attention to how they're handling it and how it's going to impact my relationship. So what I'm saying is he didn't handle it well. So the next guy, I'm not going to hold it against the next guy. And if he tells me, and if he gets on the phone with her and he's upset afterwards and he comes to be crying about it, I'm going to feel real bad because this man wants to, and I would love it because this man wants to be with his kid. My issue is if he's submitting to her on the phone and doing all the extra, not setting boundaries, then it get worse for the relationship. That's when I'm like, okay, he don't know how to set boundaries. This is not going to end well.
Now that's a principle. It's a character thing.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I say. Okay, but this is what I'm saying is like, but at least like even in Yonci's case, and that's why I said I'm looking at both y'all, and I appreciate y'all going deeper. I know I just made it up, but it was just a scenario where it's like, if he explains it to you and he's vulnerable enough to explain it to you and you give him corrective action, because sometimes men don't, there are people who just don't have wisdom. That's just not their strong suit. Mm-hmm. And so to be able to give him at least that opportunity, because there's so many times, and I think the saddest part in our community in general is that people they've internalized so many of these values that don't exist in our community because nobody was brought here, every culture, every piece of culture has came out of struggle. A lot of it has came out of struggle here. So we have a very particular existence on this planet. So for a man to not be able to be vulnerable in some capacity is type wild in the African American community, because guess what? We don't even have the opportunities. Do you remember how some women would probably like, my man can't even be over here because if he's over here, he's going to get lynched and killed. But then now you were emasculating him. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Our history comes from some weird place.
Can I ask something, Cam? Because I love the flipping.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Women, we get attached very quickly.
Yeah,
and typically, and there might be a whole fantasy in her head, and it's only been 2 weeks of talking. I just saw a post today about this guy who was like, "Oh, how do I let her down?" Because she freaked him out talking about like, "Do you think you could fall in love with me one day?" or whatever. So my question is this, because we're talking about something that gives us an ick inside.
Yes.
Would you judge a woman for being vulnerable if after like 3 weeks of dating, she's pouring her heart out to you and like, "Oh my God, no one's ever loved me the way you've loved me. I hope we never break up. I really hope this turns into marriage. And you've only gone on 3 dates." Would you be like, she probably should have kept that?
I feel like that's more normal than you think it is.
I would feel like I've done my job, because again, if
a
woman sees you that way, and this is why though, because as hard as I vet, I'm not dealing with emotionally weak women. Like, you picked that up in conversation. So if after 3 dates she's like, "Listen, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I can fall in love with you. I feel like, you could be this person for me." As long as there's no swim fan vibe attached to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, she hasn't popped up in my trunk. I haven't seen her like looking at my followers list, which apparently women still do. Like, I haven't seen any of that weird stuff. Then I feel like I've just done my job, and it's a compliment. The problem would be is when I can't return that, or I don't feel the same way, because then, once you got a woman's nose open and you don't reciprocate her feelings, you may trigger that inner eye twitch. You know, Kim feels crazy, and I don't deal with that well.
And I'll say this to you, Yonci. So I've had a situation. I think I said this before on live. There was a girl that I had talked to, and mind you, we had just we flew out to LA, right? I flew her out to LA just because it was my birthday and she wants to go. Yeah, exactly. So then we kick it there. I think it was like her first time on a plane or something like that. It was crazy.
Bless her heart.
Yeah. And it wasn't even because she didn't come and have a little bit of money. It's just that she was raised with her grandma. So it was kind of a situation where it was like, oh, her grandma was working so much that they never experienced that. And she's young too. So we go out there, we come back. She enjoyed herself so much that she basically moved in with me, like for 8 months after that. Like it was crazy. Like literally she went home like once every couple weeks.
Was it mutually desired?
Yeah. Well, so this is why I'm bringing it up, is that it's like, no, you're good, because more than likely this is what I'm shooting for as well too. Now I know there's sometimes a point where it's like there can be a crazy over obsessive thing, but it's like I probably wouldn't even engaged in taking you to a trip because guess what? I have control over your situation or like that because I pay for the things. So men and women, how they perceive that's a little bit differently, because like I know a lot of women who will reveal all kinds of stuff about that initially. So it's just more so I know that more than likely you're living in a dream, and eventually that dream is going to like fall off in your head because I do something, or like I was supposed to do this, and I'm like, no, we're in the real life. Like, go take out the trash, or whatever the case might be, that I do something. Eventually, she's going to come to a point where, oh, maybe my dream wasn't really folded up right, and of course, what happens? She left, right? So it's like a lot of times you'll get all up in arms and in the emotions and the feelings of something, and then eventually you realize it's not all that in your brain, because like what exists in your brain is not real life. So yeah, that's not really a big issue, to be honest.
Okay. Clemmy says that we're cracking her up.
I'm glad we're making it work.
I'm shocked that Amanda's even awake. I'm shocked Clemmy's awake because she's on the East Coast too.
She is.
I'm gonna be asleep. I'm in my bed over there. I took my shower before, made sure I was nice and fresh, brushed my teeth, got ready for bed before this show because I know how they get.
You already know how it goes.
Lynette, I think dozed off for a few minutes on our last episode. That was really funny.
Oh, that was,
I was like, I'm not mad at her. It's late.
Listen, I appreciate y'all. Y'all always have me laugh, and thank you for allowing me to. What are we calling these now? Camuations or something, or Camarios.
I'm afraid to go to the Zoom mingle tomorrow because he up there. I ain't gonna date you because you're not empathetic and sympathetic.
No. I was
like, Cam and his stories gonna get me not a man. I'm not going to stories.
Don't be running from a bug. I remember there was a guy that I talked to and he was scared of bugs. He's like, I don't deal with bugs. And I'm like, well, you better figure it out. Like, I see my mom, set mouse traps and stuff, like, because they out in the forest. So when they were building their house, like, there was a lot of exposure to the outside and cutting down trees and stuff. You get a lot of whatever. And my mom would go in there. She'd handle whatever she needed to handle. I'm like, my mama can't be stronger than my man. That's just not going to work.
Yeah. No, I think people understand and get the situation scenarios. I was just joking on that. But no, like, I think, like I said, I know when... What?
Willie took it serious.
He took
the last part, I was glad that we actually had that conversation, because a lot of men I do see in not only Yonsternation, but when we do have conversations with other men, where it's like the communication, women are always saying, oh, men don't communicate enough, right? Or they're not vulnerable enough. But then there's places at which we're not supposed to be vulnerable, because we're supposed to maintain a father or a god, like, you're supposed to be the priest of the household if you come in the Christian tradition. And so with that being said, there's a strength that he's supposed to represent. So that strength is seen and viewed in certain aspects. So like what Yonci said, as far as about, listen, even if he got his behind whipped, he can't be out here crying over like that when he's taking hits to the kidneys. Like, oh, he can't be doing that. He has to be like, yeah.
Come on now, Cam.
Right, come on. That's the extreme we're talking about.
I'm just messing with you, but I'm saying, and
like,
real
Monte hit his shin. He hit his shin so freaking hard on a little trailer hitch on the back of his truck. He hit that so hard, but it's so funny because he's so manly. Even when he gets hurt, he was just like, oh.
No,
And I
but
could
let's.
tell that he stopped, but it was
Remember-
like if he had gotten the fetal position, was like, ooh, I'd be like,
Now you being dramatic, sir. Stop.
No. But on some real no. But I will listen. But keeping it funky, like you said, he hit his knee. A lot of niggas would go. Oh, sorry, I'm getting into regular mode because we're getting late. So, so he hit his. So the real camera's coming out. I'm about to start drinking E&J and stuff. Okay, so he hits his knee, but then, like I said, he comes out with like, let's say, like, oh, or grunt or something that's manly. But like, if he went and he screamed and he's like, ah, you guys would have looked. It would exactly look at your look at you. Look at that. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
With a high pitch.
Listen,
you can't be doing
He's naturally like that. Now, if he's naturally a high pitched person, then that's fine. But if he
no, he's listen.
I couldn't even deal with a guy who was high pitched. His voice irritated me so bad.
Barry White. He's Barry White. But then when he hit that thing, it just went up. I'm just saying.
Falsetto.
Long as we could, if we laugh afterwards.
Of course.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not sure if Yonci can laugh. I think she put a check against him.
So just for the record,
I'm just messing with you.
I am okay with men being vulnerable. I just want to feel safe. There was something.
You already got a man. Yeah.
I know, but still, there was something.
So we are okay with vulnerability.
Oh, you said I have a man. Is that what you said? Oh,
yeah.
I have a reputation.
So, and we just and then they probably off the call now. So you know, when you do your video clip, make sure you put that.
Yeah.
Amanda is vulnerable. Don't believe Willie, because Willie didn't set me up.
She is a safe space. Amanda, safe space.
Yay!
I want to say this as a PSA for men.
Yeah.
The way you handle the women in your life, whether it be your daughter, whether it be your ex, whether it be your mother or your grandmother or your auntie, we as women, let me speak for myself, I will pay attention to it. And most women I know will pay attention to that. If it seems like there is any woman who is running the show,
right,
that our little proverbial, it just does not work. You have a daughter you can't say no to. She runs you through whatever. That's a turnoff for most women. If your mom has no boundaries, I have seen moms that, to me, there is a difference between a healthy relationship and a controlling relationship. When I tell you, I could tell you stories. This one guy, his relationship with his mom was so out of boundaries. He was going on a vacation with his wife, and I want to say their child, and she literally showed up. Not only showed up with a 2-year-old other family member and said, we are going on the trip. And it was like the most awkward thing. Or, you know, calling at all times of the night when you could have hired a plumber or you could have called whatever. To me, if a man, and I think a lot of guys get it confused and say, yeah, but that's my mom, or that's my granny, or that's my, boundaries are sexy. Boundaries are sexy. And being that nice guy, it's not nice to me. It's you're a pushover. And so I had to get to a certain age where I realized I'm an adult and I'm going to have differences of opinions from my parents. And if it really came down to it, I need to stand on my own 2 feet. I don't ever want there to be something that anyone's going to hold over me or threaten me, or I'm going to cut you out of my will. I hope that no matter what, there is nobody who's going to influence my relationship or my lifestyle choices. You can influence me. You can share your thoughts, but I don't ever want to have to shuck and jive. Well, you know, Amanda, I will do this, but my, you know.
See, listen, see, it happens. It's crazy.
That's not a good look.
Yeah, just living on your, and I think that was the point that, and I appreciate you doing this. Like, living on your knees is something that I don't like ever or at all. So when Willie had said that, he said you could either kind of like placate the woman.
Oh.
There are times, so, and I understand that, and I'm never going to hate. Like, I'm not mad at it, and I'm not glad at it either.
Right.
But
it's not for you.
Yeah, but for me, like, and just being real, I'm going through that right now, like, as we even speak, or like, that's one of the reasons, like, I was kind of off of the platform for a little while, is because I'm like, I'm about to be doing certain things to create certain situations.
I totally forgot you have a child.
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah. But that's why I told you, like, the thing about thing is 6 months is that it's like sometimes you have to even. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, you have to make a stand sometimes as a man, and honestly, it should be merited, and someone should be able to be vulnerable because even in those states, for some people like me, I'm kind of built different in certain capacities because I've been through different things, but I know that some men have been through that, and it's literally broke them. And
Yes.
so like that, it would be nice for someone to be able to, of course, like be able to be vulnerable about that, get some pointers. Of course, you got to bring boundaries and put stuff together. But I know I made it a funny scenario, but it's like, yeah, it would be nice to have someone that you could be vulnerable with. If it's not your woman, which it probably shouldn't be after what we've kind of heard today, it would be nice for it to be somebody that you can kind of be vulnerable with, because like I said, you have to share that with somebody.
But in all seriousness, Cam,
Yeah.
if I encountered a guy and he truly had a spirit of, I don't have the tools, can you help me, babe? That is completely different than a man with his tail between his legs. Because I've counseled women like this where they say, this guy's amazing, but he doesn't have boundaries. She runs a show. And this is the thing. And I had to face the same fear. For me, it was, if I cross a certain line, I could be cut off financially. And I'm counting on alimony. I'm counting on child support to make my rent every month. And some months, I don't know how to make ends meet, whatever. And I'm in this crazy dilemma where if I work for somebody, I got to figure out childcare, which then negates everything I made. So I have to be an entrepreneur or I'm not going to survive. Like, I have had the gun to my head, so to speak, emotionally. And I will never forget, my friend said, you have to move. What would you do if he was deceased, God forbid? Yeah. And I was like, it was such a light bulb moment for me, because I was like, in my mind, I always had the security blanket, the safety net. And whether he meant to or not, he could always intimidate me, because it was, I could make this. And we know what the courts say, but we all know how long things
we all know how things actually work. Yeah.
So it's like, I had this over my head. I had to get to a point where I said, F all of it. I had to face my fear. What is my worst fear? That he literally just goes, you're cut off. When I tell you, that's when freedom began. And so I can never tell somebody how to move with their kids or whatever. But to me, I almost feel like it would be worth it to go through that sacrifice where you miss the, I mean, I'm really stepping lightly because this is a sensitive.
No, 100%. No, this is real.
I feel like I would be more on the lines of, you know what, if I have to miss 6 to 8 months because I'm dealing with court or whatever, to be able to then come back legally. Because I love how you said living on your knees. I don't want anyone to have that kind of power over me. And I don't think it's fair to bring anyone else into my situation when someone has that kind of power over me. So,
yeah. So no, and so that's why I was like, it's good that we had that. Like I said, I love the joking aspect because it gets us back to wherever, because we can, make things, levity makes things more palatable. But yeah, I think it should be a place where, like I said, people do remember that men, like I said, the empathy, if we understand each other, both on the women's side and the men's side, that there are things that men would like to be vulnerable about. And sometimes they're not even cool in those areas, like at all. But if someone can kind of give them some guidance, and it may not be the woman, but it would be great that the same person.
That guidance. The woman just to cry, take the guidance. Yeah.
Take the guidance. Yeah. No, you can't just be, I just can't stop crying. Like, you can't just, like, it can't be that.
Yeah, but okay, so Cam, so with your situation, if
what's up?
Me and you were dating, I don't want nobody mad at me, but just as hypothetical people.
Yes.
Breaking off out of YouTube hearts, Amanda.
Yeah, I won't, because they was saying they love Cam in the comments. So
I appreciate it. I can't even see the comments, but yeah, go.
But okay, so me and you were dating.
Yeah.
And you have this situation with your son's mom.
Yeah.
You tell me the story, you upset, you crying about the situation. I will be here from you. We're gonna talk it through.
Yeah.
But my issue will come if you letting her control. So my point is, you can be vulnerable with your lady. The point, you just have to set boundaries with it. That's all I'm saying. You can be vulnerable.
I guess that's the point I was trying to hopefully bring or see, because I feel like a mature woman would do that, but at the same time, there is or you would hope, I should say, because there are times, like I said, in my trajectory and understanding of how things actually work. I've never had that. I've always had things on the outside because I kind of know how things work. So if I had to have that, and honestly about this situation, I'm just like, listen, I'm gonna win now or later. I don't even have emotionality kind of tied to it, to be honest. But it's like I've seen men, and honestly, I have a lot more empathy for men now who don't have my brain, who don't have my acumen, who may have had a history where they actually have things on their record. Like I have nothing, there's nothing. So going through the experience kind of was like, oh crap, I can imagine when I've seen men out there, and sometimes men just give up and people don't create that scenario sometimes where it's like, no, it's not just deadbeat. People are just deadbeat people. Sometimes it was like
more
they were
important.
forced. Yeah, they were forced into situations where they were like, this is so hard for me and I already have other things.
Yeah.
I'll hit him up later.
Yep.
Well, the issue is that when you do that, then now you've just created potentially another lost situation. And so people being able to have catharsis in a scenario, and like I said, it can come from other people. I'm not saying it has to be from a woman, but as far as like it can come from other people, some people are in that situation where they don't have that. Like I know that I'm blessed to have the brain and the wisdom and everything else that I have, and also have the words, because words can help you sometimes work through things. If you don't have that, sometimes, like you said, you can be in a situation where like, dang, can I talk to my kids? You know, like, you know, so yeah. So in all funniness, but also in the realness, it's like we women, I would hope that they would start understanding and realize that like men are humans. When it comes to safety, yes, I 100% agree. Like we shouldn't be out here like kind of like blank man getting slapped across like garbage bags and stuff. But like when it comes to other things, it should be a little bit more grace, I think, associated with those things because everybody goes through stuff. Women go through things, men go through things, especially in our community.
Yeah. And I have no issue with the grace part. Like I said, me, it has to be a two-way street. It cannot be, it ends up all about the guy and how he's feeling. He also needs to be sensitive to her. So if she says after 10 o'clock, these calls are inappropriate, or you need to let her know some of these things could have been texted that didn't need to be a 40-minute phone call. Or if we're going to be talking, it needs to be, y'all are talking, it needs to be about the kid. Those types of things. That's the only thing I would add to it. So the guy needs to know like boundaries and respect the current woman, because you're asking her to be this rock. You're asking her to be supportive. You're asking all these things. Well, you show her your love to her by honoring her boundaries. And so sometimes it takes the new girlfriend to be the only communicator. Like sometimes it's so trifling that the woman has to be the one because there's no emotions with her, whatever. And maybe the lady doesn't know it, but she's the one sending all the responses, you know? So there are a lot of suggestions. And this is what I was going to say before. As women, we are so hip to the games that women can play. I think that unfortunately, that's kind of like one of our sin natures. We know how to manipulate. If we wanted to, we know how to manipulate. We know how to bamboozle. We know how to get over. We know that. So we could sniff it out. And it's so frustrating when we see a guy and the guy's like, oh, she just needed help. No, that lady was trying to weasel her way into da-da-da-da. Like we could see it a mile away. So if you have a woman that you trust her intuition, you trust her wisdom, you trust her discernment, and she sees like, nah, she's playing you for this, you know, listen to that. And sometimes I think in those scenarios, it's one of those things where it's like, I look at it like a ransom, like somebody, or blackmail, like, oh, they just asked for 100. No, they're asking for 100 today. But they might decide tomorrow they want 350. So I think that if these guys are doing this stuff to appease the woman, to keep things going, I think you're just dealing with evil. And I don't think there is a negotiating with evil. Like, it's like, when's enough?
Yeah, so no, like I said, I appreciate, because like I said, that's honestly, like I said, coming from where I come from, it's kind of cool to be able to hear this. Like even as you were on the chasing Yonci, like understanding, like, hey, I'm trying to understand the mind of a man so that I can actually go and obtain a healthy relationship with one. I think men, and I love the platform because like there are times that, like I said, we get to ask the questions like the question y'all thought I asked about being safe.
You can tell now that was you, Cam.
No, it 100% wasn't.
I know.
It wasn't. Oh,
it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I'm totally joking. It was a totally different guy.
Yeah. But no, I'm saying like it's cool to be able to have a platform for men can actually ask the questions because, like I said, it just provides insight into different things. So that's cool. So I love it.
Marcus says he fought for custody for his 2 sons. He wanted to raise his black boys to the fullest. They were 3 and 8, and now they're 15 and 20-year-old handsome, intelligent young men. Love
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes.
Nice.
that. Oh my goodness, y'all! Thank goodness that
They
Willie
got
was
you.
here.
Lynette, where you been at? Okay, I was up here.
I thought you fell asleep.
life.
She
My-
was. She was
Willie,
fighting
I'm
for.
Sorry, I went to go
Yeah,
fry
she
some
was
fish
there
and
every
vegetables. I was starving.
You could have ate on camera and swallowed and defended me because Willie said no man gonna want me. And
I missed it. My bad.
Yo,
That's not what you said. But that's not what you said for the question. Like, you remember
No.
what I said? I
Went to
said
3
maybe
a.m. Weren't you, Lynette?
Uh,
You were making a 3 a.m. sandwich, weren't you? For your
Yeah.
I was
mom?
making
we were
fish
just talking about the guy earlier.
Lynette made the full course
We know
meal. She made the
Willie
meal.
so blunt. We know how he is. You got to pay him no mind.
Oh, that
my
was so
God.
funny.
Y'all
Yeah.
He said, Lynette, you missed it. He said that if a guy asks him about me, he gonna say, "Don't do it. Don't even say why."
me in that boat too, Lynette.
He said that? Oh, he put
Yeah.
you in there. Oh, no.
He said because he took what we said and then said, "Oh, a man can't come to you when he's stressed about his baby mama."
He was, mind you, Lynette, mind you, he was talking about vulnerability. So it wasn't just like, no, Dubs are man, or like she ain't worth any. No, it wasn't like, no. He said
I wasn't vulnerable. And then Kenny, Kenny be in the comments. He the beg to differ spirit. You got
Kenny is a whole different.
Yes.
Not the beg to differ spirit. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. He do. Pay attention to Kenny's comments. Anything you say, we could be right, but if a woman said it, it's a rap. He don't agree. Pay attention.
Kenny is not going to agree, and he's also going to suggest that you go overseas.
Yeah.
Y'all, I need to follow on 2 different screens sometimes because sometimes I do, but I have to. Y'all be having me rolling. Sometimes I just present stuff just because I want to keep the conversation interesting and provide different perspectives, like hear what you guys have to say.
And you do.
Yeah.
You keep it very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, he did definitely. But now I'm gonna have to maybe put some makeup on tomorrow for the mingle because
redeem yourself.
Yeah.
You ain't got. Listen, you good. You good. You be out there.
Girl, you good.
I'm gonna straighten my hair in 2 weeks. I gotta pay. Yeah, I paid a lot for these braids, so they're gonna last a little bit longer. But
you guys,
because he up here talking.
What happened?
I'm sorry, Amanda. I just realized. See, but I don't follow my notes. This one woman had a statement that she wanted to share in regards to the safety thing. And I said, she said, I can't be there, but I just want to share my thoughts. And I said, you know what? I'll read your thoughts and, for on air. And y'all, I almost forgot. So let me
good. Ready. Yeah.
read her thoughts.
We here.
With the 7 minutes we have left. She said, hi, Yonci. I hope you're doing well. I am. Thank you. Blessed and highly favored. Okay. I hate that I can't attend your live session tonight, but I want to share something related to tonight's topic. I don't think men quite understand. Men are a product of their environment and they're socialized differently than women. Therefore, they won't be able to pick up on subtle but significant clues with regard to safety. Safety means so many different things for women. She wants to feel physically safe, but also emotionally safe. We are living in a world where women are being harmed at such high rate. With that in mind, my safety is always, always on my mind. We think about safety at a degree that men simply don't have to. It's a huge blind spot. Here's a recent example based on an interaction I had with a man I met online. Without really getting to know me, he jumps in to give me his number. My first thought is always, don't move too fast. Take your time. I have to know if I can feel safe. I feel like I did a dramatic reading. And
good. That was good. I enjoyed that.
Good.
Yeah.
You got to do a drop the mic type of sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually think I think I have one. I just wasn't ready, you guys. I was gonna do this for the singles. Okay, when the singles come in, like somebody's here. Oh, I turned the volume down. How anticlimactic. Okay, here he goes.
I don't know.
That sounds like
going
going like
your
a polka
spirit?
dice, like a scary film.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's,
That's gonna get hit by a car.
We need something to make them excited about seeing me. I don't want the grims and the ghost sign. Like,
Oh wait,
Like
no.
somebody about to jump
Listen,
out the closet.
Yonci, we need to pair. Listen, we need to pair that with the Ghost of Negroes Past. That
Oh,
can you
fight
imagine
him.
that? Like, ooh, and then you just yo, that would be hard.
Oh my god, y'all! I got some. Okay, you got to hear this one.
Maybe a heart for me. You know, I need all of. You know, I need everything.
How creepy is this?
Goodbye.
Oh, that's
Oh.
what you use
Do
when we
that
about
with
to end the
somebody
show.
to make
Yeah, that's how you log off. Okay, I respect that.
you mad.
Goodbye.
When they log off, okay.
Uh-oh.
Cam
Oh,
is
that's a good one. That's a good
Say
one.
oh when Willie say some crazy stuff.
Look, when someone says something rude.
Thank you.
Okay, this one might be creepy.
I love you, mommy.
Strings.
I don't know when you would use that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Wow, that's a fun fact.
Wow.
Wow.
Maybe do that for me when I come in tomorrow. You okay?
No.
Okay then. Okay.
That's what I'm getting.
When you walk in.
Oh.
Really gonna press that one.
This is gonna be yours. This is it right here.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
That was
You know,
profound.
the help I can get really didn't mess me up.
I'm
You know?
telling you.
Girl, he ain't messed you up.
You
Yo.
would have known
Trust
if you
me,
were
she
here.
all
Fighting for her life.
I'm
Next
gonna
time, have a
peek in
banana on
tomorrow
it.
just to peek on you. Make sure you're all right, Amanda.
Yeah, so Lynette, next time have a banana on the side. Okay.
Oh,
You know,
we gonna order DoorDash.
I can use the restroom. Y'all got me messed up.
Yeah.
You're gonna order DoorDash for Lynette's, making sure she got.
You know what? That's what I'm gonna do.
Y'all gotta suffer. I gotta suffer.
Mhm.
That's
It's gonna be like Willie. I usually be texting Willie. I'm like, cover for me. I gotta go. And I'll like dip off, and he'll be like, so guys.
No, ask Cam to do it because Willie,
He gonna run.
I'm gonna be like, hey y'all, listen, I got a situation for you.
I'd rather never mind. Lynette, you need to do it because Cam gonna have a situation.
He gonna be like, let's just say, let's imagine a scenario where
That's gonna be a 5-part question. All you're gonna see is people logging off to the other rooms.
Explain the scenario and it's like the number goes down 6.
Okay,
so I'm gonna be the only one in California. I'm gonna be the only one in California just holding it down. I'm gonna ask a scenario.
Saying that you're in California. Are you in Northern?
No. So I'm in Seattle, Washington, but I do go to California quite often.
Mind sharing the general area?
Oh, that's general area of California or Seattle?
California.
Oh, California. I usually Santa Monica. I stay in Santa Monica. I'm trying to open up like a little spot in kind of by San Bernardino.
Okay.
So just kind of like Southern Cal type area, I guess, for most people here.
For Southern, I'd be like,
always Southern Cal.
Northern Cal doesn't count. It's all about.
Doesn't count either. Oh well, for anybody who's here, we're not saying crazy part, but yeah, Southern California. That's usually where I'm chilling at.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah,
you guys, this was fun.
Hilarious.
I had a great time despite y'all keeping me on 4 hours. Insane.
That was Slimmy and Will.
Yes, that was. And I really thought I was off the hook because he had.
Clemmy came in crazy.
And she was slick. She did just like Willie too. She in the last 2 minutes. That's wild. Are you still on here, Clemmy? Y'all, sorry, my name.
She already paid for the other hour. She ain't paid for this hour.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this hour. She's like,
this is Willie.
I can. Oh, she's there.
Thanks, Clemmy.
Thanks, Clemmy. I'm glad we can provide entertainment.
Thank you for letting me vindicate myself, Clemmy. I appreciate it. Well, maybe it was.
Why Lorenzo says somebody said sandwich, so I guess
right.
Somewhere what we're talking.
He's like sandwich. Y'all, our Zoom mingle is going to be lit tomorrow. I am really excited. I can't wait to hang out with y'all. We're gonna have so many inside jokes. They're gonna be sick of us, but that's their bad. They should have come to the YouTube show.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. All right, guys. I am going to sign off. And I forgot the this is what I wanted.
3,
Good night.
Good night, honey. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks
Good
for
night.
watching. Click the like, subscribe.